Salute. The streets are buzzing. Salute everyone. The New York Knicks take another L today in matinee game in Toronto, 105 to 120, with my man Divine, partner in crime. Knicks Real Talk. How are you, Divine?
I'm good, CT. Salute to you, my brothers. KJ was good, fam. Yeah, man, we had a little, tough loss today, man. Kind of was expected though. We was outmanned, but seen a lot of positive, negative. CT. We just couldn't handle their side today, man. But they tried their best, gave a good effort, man. That's all we could ask for, but it just came up short today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, KJ Dub, how are you, fam?
What's up, my man CT? What's up, Divine? I'm doing well. Again, another loss. It was expected, even though we beat optimistic to try to win the game. But you know what? It's times like this when teams come together, and when we get our pieces back, it's only going to help us out going forward. But we in a rough spot right now, and we just got to take it one game at a time.
Yep, exactly. Facts. Salute Tone Woo, Garden of Knicks. Salute Geraldine in the chat. Hope you had a beautiful weekend, Sunday, New Year's weekend. New York Knicks need to get down to business to Divine after today's loss. We'll chop it up. There were some positives, some negatives. It wasn't as bad of a game as the last one. So tonight, there were some good performances from some of the young guys. They're starting to get a bit more comfortable. It's looking like they'll see another game probably with this starting lineup. What did you see tonight with this starting unit?
You know what? It was pretty good. Brian got off to a little shaky start today. He's a rookie. It's understandable. Second game started. He got off to a little shaky start. Tibbs snatched him out for a minute because he wasn't, I guess it was something he wasn't doing that he didn't like, and that's what Tibbs do. If you're not doing something, he's gonna snatch you out. Evan Fournier had a bounce back game shooting wise. He scored some points shooting, and that's about it. RJ, mediocre game to me. He when he played, scored 19, but it still was kind of mediocre in a sense compared to what I would want RJ to do. But other than that, Todd only could do what he could do against that size that they had. They had a lot of size up there. Obi Toppin, I'm excited about, man. I'm excited about his game today, the way he was scoring, where he was scoring from, his rebound, his assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. So I think the starting lineup, they did what they could do against a hot Fred VanVleet. Obviously, McBride was no match for him today. But they put in the effort. It just wasn't enough, man. Them guys were just outgunning us from all over the place today. Our defense just they didn't hold us down today, and and that's what happened to me.
Yeah, KJ. If you look at the wire to wire, first quarter we started quite decent, 3 points down. The second and third quarter were the ones that hurt us the most, and the fourth quarter we came back and finished the game strong. But the second and third quarter we lost it.
Yeah, 40 points in the third quarter, man. That's rough on any given night for a team to put up 40 points. To me, that's where we really lost that game in that third quarter. But for some of the things that I've seen out there tonight, it is a lot of positives. Obviously the defense, we wanted better. The Knicks did try to do a zone, but they did a man zone, which really wasn't working because VanVleet was just breaking it every single time. And it's like, we wanted to see more of just a regular 2-3 zone like they did. Like Toronto went into 2-3 zone on us, and it really helped them out. I really want to see. So I just think the game plan, they got misconstrued or something got messed up with it because of that issue. But other than that, these kids right now, they're on the job training right now. and it's what is expected. When you start a new gig and things are not flowing all the way right. But however, the one thing, my last point, I do like the fact that we scored 105 points instead of 80 points. So that's the positive that I got from this so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Facts. Chat. Divine. You have to look at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, we're missing 3 starters versus a full strength Toronto, and that's why I wasn't too mad with today's loss in terms of putting up 105. There were some moments we were getting back into the game, but brilliance of Fred VanVleet. The ability to just that skill set to just be able to pop up from anywhere and drop the 3 at will. That's the difference. That's what we're lacking right now. Just someone who can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the one that really put that game out of reach for them. Every time we thought we were going to get a little close, they kind of going a 6-point scoring, stretch it back out, and then Anunoby and them guys, they were just too big up front, man. Them cats was dominating us up front. You know what I mean? And that's where I think we lost the game at, between VanVleet and the domination up front. I mean, we held Gary Trent down, had him in foul trouble. We kept Anunoby from running amok. It's just that I think VanVleet 30-some points. That's what really beat us. But you know what? Like you said, CT, it wasn't a loss where I'm like, man, our Knicks suck. Not at all. It was a real good. Like I said, these are some good growing pains for these young men. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like KDK, they say hit it right on the head. It's growing pains, and we can't expect the guy to come out here and drop. We want him to drop 20 and all that, but it's not reality, man. You know what I mean? And we just have to own up to that. But I'm looking forward to the next game because I think we have somebody back. I'm quite sure Nerlens Noel might be back by then, maybe Gerald Consent, so we give us a little bit more depth up front. But I think that's what we was getting hammered at, man. We had like some of our guards like quickly playing every now and then playing Anunoby, or you had this guy playing a guy that was like Scotty Barnes. I'm like, man, come on, this guy I got you about 6 or 7 inches. You know what I mean? And we just was really undermined it. But like I said, I'm not discouraged at all, man. I'm actually feeling good because I really like the way Obi Toppin played. I like that post game he threw up there today, that mid-range jump shot. So I was really liking what he did today. And like I said, I'm at all with the way he passes that ball, man. That's a skill set I didn't know he had at that level. But he I think once he knocked down that 3 balls, CT a little bit more better. I think he's gonna be all right though.
Yeah, facts, right. We share that same sentiment today. It was our shortcomings that lost. The effort was there. KJ, the players played hard that we had. We just the talent deficiency tonight. And just before we get into the box score and do our grades, to Divine's point, help is on its way. Hopefully, Nerlens Noel is past the 10-day period already. Jericho Sims, hopefully too, should be back. The New York Knicks get some home cooking heading back to New York. We play Indy and then Boston and Boston. We play against Boston well. Some critical games coming up, but help's on its way. Luka Samanic is healthy now. He's back training fully today for Westchester. Hopefully he gets a call up. And also they signed 10-day contract veteran guard Ryan Arcidiacono, which is a crafty guard, some veteran experience, and that could spell the some trouble for Kemba Walker with terms of that injury,
right,
as well.
Yeah, right now, for all these guys, it's basically on the job training for the majority of that team when the guys out, and it's a give or take. It's either they're going to be on or not. The one great thing I saw tonight is that more people scored tonight, and we didn't have that the other game. And that's what's needed. So we just need everybody to be consistent scoring at the time. Like he pulled RJ out because RJ wasn't doing what he had to do. Again, I think Obi Toppin likes playing in Toronto. Another 19-point game in Toronto for Obi Toppin. So kudos to him for that. We just came up short. The defense efforts was there, but I just feel like Toronto today, their game plan was to take them to the hole, and they did that. And I'm talking about everybody from Vlambeet to Barnes to Nobi. Like everybody was doing what they had to do for it, and the Knicks just couldn't stop them. And they had no answers for them. And the results of a 120 to 105 score and lose by 15 points, that happened today. So, again, what's going to wind up happening is once we get more people back, now some of these guys are used to it. So we'll have a much better team. We'll have a much better team when all our big guys come back and make it happen. But right now, we're in that period. We're in that learning period right now. And sky's still the limit for him. It's going to be tougher to get there to where we trying to go.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Facts, Divine. And let's start it off with Obi Toppin. Give us your evaluation from him tonight and a grade.
Hey, I'm going to definitely give him a A tonight. And look at his numbers across the board; they are phenomenal. I mean, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, 1 for 4 from 3. You got to work on that. Obviously, that's a part of the game that he got to improve. 7 for 12 field goals. And I still think he could have had more than that, but it seemed like some stretches of the game they didn't go away from him. And I think that's because when McBride wasn't really ready today, and Alex Burks and Fournier them wasn't no pass type of guards where they looked for the pass. There was plenty of times in that game. They just didn't go to him. I thought they were like, man, that dude is right there. Y'all should give him the ball. Alex Burks got down the lane a little bit. I'm not saying that it was a bad thing on him, but just that it's times he didn't see Obi. Maybe I'll put it that way. Not that he didn't do it purposely. He just didn't see him. And he went through a stretch of that game where he didn't get no opportunities. But when he did get the opportunity CT, he made the best of it. I'm giving that man an A because I just think that the best shit to come from him, and I really like that. He played 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes, and I take 19, 6 and 6 in 45 minutes all day with a block and a steal. So 2 blocks and a steal. So I give him an A today for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's all good for the experience. 45 minutes, put up numbers. Like you said, considering you played 45 minutes in a 15-point loss to be -9. Again, solid performance, Obi. I got to give him a B+ tonight, KJ.
Yeah, I'm giving Obi an A. Just the time, that 45-minute mark is, and for the production he did, that's great. 2 blocks, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. It's serviceable. 4 for 4 from the free throw, which was great. It's something that we needed, and he just came to play. Obviously we want more sample size. I like Devon. I agree with you with that backup game he did. He does have a post-up game. It just needs to be more refined, but he has something there. And I still think the Knicks should run the offense through him because he does a lot of different things out there for you. He might not get back all the way down, but he's so quick off the turn. He can either pass, shoot, or dribble, or dunk the ball in. So it's a lot of things that he does there, but he gets the A for me tonight.
Yep. Is there anything you guys would want to see more of, or something that he didn't do tonight?
For me, that mid-range shot. I love that mid-range, right? That mid-range shot. And when he get the ball in the paint, he got a quick step. He got to take that drop step and spin real quick and then get that bounce on. So I think he did one of them today was real nice, man. On the left side, spin, drop that floater in there, bang, with all net. I'm like, he need to do more of that. And you know what I think? I think they got to give him, like KJ said, I want to see them give him some plays. And KJ brought that up he brought that up in the beginning of the Knicks Will Talk stream. Like, they want to see him post Obi. And he's 100% right. Post him every now and then. Let him try to get that speed and that aggressive, that bully ball mentality. And because one thing I like about him, like KJ compared him to almost like Randall earlier, man, throwing the ball down there at the ball. He get that ball out quicker than Randall will in the post anyway. And I just think it's good to run the offense to him. But I would like to see him continue shooting that mid-range game a little more. I would like to see him CT. I think he could also be a better shot blocker. It seems like, his defense, I want to see him improve on his defense and a little more. That's more than anything is that. Just got to get off your feet a little quicker because with his athleticism, man, he should be throwing away 3 blocks a game almost. So I would like to see him refine the defense too a little more and try to get up there, man, and get more block shots and get off your feet quicker on the defense.
Facts. And KJ, in what I learned in these couple of games is that Obi is a big part of this future. If I didn't already know, absolutely by no means trade this man, because I think in talent-wise, just raw talent, I think we're trying to see a winning team up, coming up in the future. He is a big part of that, and I think how that is let's flip the switch. Let's say put Obi on the Raptors tonight. Let's pretend the Raptors team tonight is the team we want to be, a winning team with that kind of pieces and talent. Imagine what Obi would look like if he was on the Raptors tonight. Right, that length, like Divine said, he'd be eaten.
Absolutely, and the Raptors play a lot different than we played. They took everything to the hole, and that's what I want to say about Obi. once Obi Toppin figures out he's so much bigger and so much more athletic than the next man that's guarding him, to me, he could take anybody to the hole and score him. But right now, he's still a little timid, still young, so he's still trying to figure that game out. But he's so quick, and all he has to take that ball and just take it to the hole, But he's not doing that as of yet. But let me tell you, once Obi Toppin, and hear me loud and clear, fellas, once Obi Toppin discovers or gets a consistent jump shot, watch out, because some of the things that he does on the court, you can't teach that. You cannot teach athleticism, the athleticism that he has. A guy that could fly back and could dunk on you, and then now a guy that can shoot, that's called an all-star right there, and that's maybe a potential all-star we have in our future within the next 2-3 years. Obi Toppin should be an all-star if he gets a consistent three-point shot.
Facts, Divine. Yeah, everyone shares that same sentiment. That jump shot starts to fall. That's the next part of his game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because you know what, CT, if that jump shot start falling, now they got to come out there and defend it. He could put that ball on the floor, and man, he get a couple steps on somebody to just go airborne. You know what I mean? So I definitely second that, man. Once he get that jump shot consistent, I think he will. He shoot the free throw too good. He got a good form on the jump shot. It's not like it's broken or anything. I think it might be more muscle in him because he's so strong, and that he's like a big man at the foul line. When a big man at the foul line, they don't shoot a good percentage. Some of them, the bigger guy, because they're so strong, they don't use their wrist. They shoot with their arms. They be clinking instead of just using their wrist. And I think once Obi get to that format where he just letting it go with his wrist, not with his full strength, because he's so strong, it won't brick so hard. But I think once he gets it down, man, I think sky's the limit for that young man. I really do, man. And like I said, he really showing me something, man. I hope the Knicks. That's why I always wanted him in there. Just look, he a better rebounder. You know what I mean? Listen, he gave. I'm just comparing numbers in a sense, but what's the difference? You look at Fournier's small forward numbers tonight, or two guard numbers. He had 20 points with nothing across the board. You look at Obi Toppin's number, he had 19 points with everything across the board. You know what I mean? And that's why I always said maybe it might be interesting to start Obi Toppin, because I think the size, him and Julius Randle, and I think Mitchell Robinson's size would make up a big difference, because we lack a lot of that down there. You can move RJ back to his natural position, put Obi in there at the three, because he can play the wing pretty good to me. And I just think you would have to experiment with that. And but it was good. I'm happy with him, man. I think this young man got something more to give, and the best is yet to come. You ask me.
Yeah, real talk. And just the 45 minutes, guys. It's just glad to see him just get all the minutes he can in the world now. He's been frustrating, obviously sitting behind Julius, just to play loose now. I'm expecting him to have a more breakout game, the next one as well, if Julius isn't back. KJ.
Yeah, and rightfully so. And even if Julius does come back, guess what's going to happen to Obi's game? Obi's going to take his game to another level when he comes off the bench now, if Tibbs doesn't start for him. So it's a gift and a curse right now with this COVID protocol that these guys are getting a chance, but it's still great opportunity. And guess what? The season is still young. We're going to keep re-entering. The season is very young still. So Imagine Julius now has time at home to watch from the outside to see what's happening. When he comes back, Julius might change his game up, which I'm sure he will. So now it's on these wounds that we getting right now. Hey, once you get punched, what's the next thing you do? If you don't get back up, then you can't fight. Right now, they're fighting every time. They improve from the game before to game now, so they're improving, but it's just not together yet. But I still got faith in the team. I think Obi will be fine. It's just that he has to develop more.
Yeah, and we'll chat more after the grades about where to from here, Divine, and what's coming up. But let's touch on the rest of the guys tonight. Deuce McBride, like you said, Divine, started off. Tibbs didn't like a couple things that he saw. I think it was the rotations. If I had a pinpoint. Obviously, he didn't shoot very well. Had 4 3-point attempts. He's still finding his way. 3 assists. That game against Houston. Had a lot of fans excited. Maybe this sort of shows Deuce is still a little bit away. From playing heavy minutes. What did you see from Deuce?
I seen Deuce a little I think he was feeling the pressure of playing against a better team, against a Van Fleet. You see what SGA kind of did, per se. Like I always say, I know some guys they gotta be crazy about these rookies, but they rookies, man. I mean, I know we all want to see these guys. We think they're gonna carry the Knicks. They will be future stars on this team, but they still rookies. You know what I mean? And I always harp on that. I'm like, man, I mean, you know what? Let's be real about this thing. We want these groups, we want them to prosper, but it takes time, man. It takes time when you're going up against a guy like he. You think about this here. My man never played a guard. He played against a dude like Van Vliet in college. You know what I mean? He never played against an SGA in college last year. So coming into the league, we asking these guys to come from college basketball, playing guys that's suspect mediocre or at best, a little over, to come into the NBA playing against guys that's all-stars, some of them superstars, some of them well-seasoned. Every move that boy knows, somebody else knows because it's the NBA. So, but I am happy that he got his burn. I like his defense tenacity still. I like that he's got confidence. That's one thing I do like about him. I'm not mad at him missing these 3-point shots. I'm happy that he's taking them. That's what I'm happy about, CT, that he's taking the shot, because they will come. It's a miss and make league. They will come, and he's going to be one game. I'm not seeing that in summer league. That's why I want to make this point right quick. I remember summer league one game, he went 0 for 6. The next game, he came back and dropped like 5 or 6 in a row that game. So I know that he has that in him. I like his tenacity. But today he just was outmatched today. You know what I mean? Fred VanVleet's headed to the All-Star game probably. I mean, it was a good learning curve for him. I have no problem with guys like him getting beat up by some veterans, because that's what veterans do. You know what I mean? It'd be like me going up against a high school cat who ain't really got game. They obviously should expect me to smash him. And that's what happened to him today. But overall, I think he could have played a more impactful game on the defense. But I think when his offense didn't go today, CT, his defense kind of didn't go. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was a mental thing because he wasn't shooting the ball. He kind of laxed on the defense. But overall, I'm gonna give him I'm just gonna give him a C+ today, man. I ain't gonna beat the young man. He's young. Second game starting against a Toronto team, fully loaded with a lot of size. But the man puts in great effort, so I'm gonna give him a C+ today.
Yep, yeah, I can see that. And salute Sharp Powers.
Sharp Powers, salute, man.
Salute.
Yeah, we're touching on Deuce McBride tonight. 15 minutes only. Got pulled out of the first quarter. Tibbs said he was, things weren't, going the way he liked. You wanted to throw in some more offense. This is what he said in the presser. And then, Deuce is still learning, obviously on the fly. Had a great game against Rockets, but he's still feeling his way. And I think he'll get better for the experience.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to say about him. Tonight's game was a little rough for him, man. Van Fleet, my man Van Fleet went off tonight, man. And he did some damage tonight. I mean, it's a learning curve, man. We all knew this was coming. You know what I mean? We expect to stack him up real high, and hopefully he doesn't fall too low. And he didn't fall too low tonight. He'll get better as the season goes on, just like the rest of the team tonight. We've seen, even though we lost tonight, I've seen some good aspects out there in the game tonight. So, but with Deuce, man, he's going to get better, man. He's going to get better. I wish he would have played a little bit more, but it is what it is, man. And it was at one point in the time we knew what the outcome of the game was going to be. So he should have ran him the rest of the game.
Yeah, real talk, Shah. And KJ, Deuce McBride, he's probably going to get another start. We signed Ryan Arcidiacono, but he's probably not going to be, the starter or come in straight away. Hopefully, Deuce just continues to learn the ropes, and we all know what he's capable of, right? Grade D, can get us some assists. The confidence will come. The shot will start falling. But like Divine said, going up against an all-star tonight, it just wasn't his night.
Right, his greatest asset right now is defense. And we all know that he's a defender. The offense will come for him. Still learning his way. One thing I like the fight, and he got an early foul trouble. That's why he went out. But I want to go back to the fourth quarter. When he came in with 11 minutes in the fourth quarter, he did what he had to do. He started bringing this back a little bit. We still lost by 15, but he did not let down. And that's all we ask for as New York Knicks fans. don't just give up. Because part of the game, it seemed like they gave up a little bit, but then when certain guys came back in, they picked the pace right back up. So they didn't give up, and that's all we asked for. Yes, he has to improve. Granted, he's a rookie, but you know what? He's an NBA player. You're young, but you're in the NBA. It's a different league. So, of course, we gonna get on him when he's not going well. But you know what? How much can we really get on him about right now? We know what it is. He's still raw right now. So again, my grade for him is a C. I know we're grading. I'm giving him a C tonight. Effort. He's an effort guy right now. So you get to see from me.
We can't lose sight of he's in his rookie year, right? I want to see what he looks like, Divine, at the end of the season. As the season goes along, rookies get more and more confident, get more and more stronger in what the systems and what's expected of them. Tibbs' coaching, all of that. And I think it's just, rookies are going to have ups and downs, but I'm still excited to see more and more of Deuce and and what he can do for us. His defense definitely helps, and we're shorthanded at the point guard, so Deuce is going to get minutes for the rest of the season now. We'll touch more on the signing today, and what that means. But he's going to get minutes, and let's touch on RJ Barrett's performance. Divine, 29 minutes, your second solid game in a row for RJ. 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, wasn't too bad. Left a couple of free throws at the line. Again, he needs to continue working on them. 4 boards, probably needs some more boards than 4. 3 assists, minus 18 though. I think he struggled defensively, but he put up the 19 points. C+ for Barrett tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that grade. I think RJ Barrett, don't let the 19 point fool you with a minus 18. And and here's why: 4 turnovers, and he had made 1 turnover that could have been a pivotal time in the game when he had got the turnover. I think it was like on a fast break, somebody threw the ball to him, went off his shoulder, he wasn't looking or something. He tried to get aggressive. RJ Barrett bounced back. He started getting aggressive. I think when Tibbs, he wasn't doing something. Tibbs got at him, and then Tibbs called a timeout, and Tibbs got at him. He came out of that timeout, and he started playing better. So it tells me that soon as Tibbs, he called that timeout, Tibbs called the timeout. You see him going to the sideline. He said something to RJ, coming back out of the time of the first play RJ did was a score. This team was outmatched today, outgunned, outmatched top to bottom. I mean, there's no way other way you can look at it. Them boys they had too much size for us today. And I like I was saying in the pregame, them guys got some good size at the wing spot. They got a lot of size at the wing. Anunoby got size. Boucher got size. He's a center, but he could play like loose around the perimeter. He could hit the perimeter 3 every now and then. And they just got a lot of size there. In the show. But RJ, I think today, I would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive like the last game, and also, his defense could have been better today. That much I can say. The defense could have been a little better, but other than that, man, them guys be on the road. I'm not making excuses for him, but it's hard when you're on the road like that, man. And you're on the last game of a road trip, and you done gave all you have for the. You played like maybe 4 games and 3 or 4 games in 5 days, some of that nature, whatever. Those been pretty tough for him, but I give him C+. I thought them turnovers really hurt him today. I thought he wasn't aggressive like I wanted him to see only a few times in the game, and I think he definitely could have played a better game than he played today.
Yeah, facts. KJ Dub, RJ Barrett tonight.
Yeah, I'm giving RJ a B+. I just with him, I'm looking at future for him. Where's this guy at? Where is he at right now? We have a big decision to make next year. Well, it's coming next year we have a decision to make with him.
Absolutely.
Where's this guy's game at? Now it's your time to step up when guys are out. You're basically our floor general. We know we can go to you for buckets, right? Where's the leadership at? Like the turnovers. I remember one turnover he had at the top of the key. He tried to hand the ball off, and the ball went the other way. You're going to get turnovers. We understand that, but it's just for him. It's hot and cold with RJ. It's almost like a streaky player. We don't know what RJ we getting every night. So until I see the RJ that can be consistent enough for a building block on his team, I'm on the fence with RJ right now because he's not showing me that who can be that consistent player that we need out there. But guess what? Who is consistent on the Knicks right now? It's Julius Randle sometime. But so it's like that for everybody. But for RJ tonight, he gets the B+.
Okay. Yeah. Shah. Yeah. RJ's still learning through his, this lineup without Julius there. Learning what it's like to be a focal point on offense. But his defense suffered a bit tonight. The length of Toronto gave him problems.
Yeah, RJ had a decent game out there tonight, and what you said, CT, is so true, man. The whole team had the problem with this linky long crew in Toronto. Aside from his defense, he did score tonight. He did do some things that he needed to do tonight, but overall, we still took the loss. My grade for RJ tonight is going to be a B. He played good ball. His averages, he's starting to average around 18 to 19 points a game. His defense was a little suspect tonight, and those 2 early fouls really drew him out of the game. But for him to be out of the game so early and still finish the game with 19 points, that's a good look.
Yeah. Divine, RJ Barrett, we're obviously evaluating the contracts coming up, but this is a critical time, looking at RJ and what he can do with Randle out, because we're not going to get too many chances to look at RJ when Randle's out. So what are you wanting to see, out of these next few games, when Randle's out?
I just want to see him be more aggressive, man. Because he did score 19 points, but remember, guys, he was a minus 18. He was a minus 18. Them 19 points don't mean nothing if the guy you playing give up 20 or whatever.
Facts.
Really didn't do anything to me. You know what I mean? Because that's where the plus minuses come in at. I'm gonna tell you what had got me upset about RJ today. When he was giving handoff passes, he was giving them like they were just. He wasn't aggressive with him. So Van Vliet would come by. He was telegraphing his passes today because they were just picking them off like, okay, he about to get his ball to my man on the handle. I'm just gonna snatch it and run. He wasn't. Sometimes you see when RJ is dominant, when you see him going hard and got that raw in him. Today he didn't have the raw because that's why Tibbs pulled him. Tibbs pulled RJ early today because he didn't have that, and granted, he picked up 2 early fouls. You know what I mean? So that might have played a part in the way how aggressive he could have been today. But I do think that he wasn't aggressive enough today to be that guy. The guy we needed him to be, because Randle wasn't there. One thing you might say about Randle, man, that boy he go bully 24/7. I mean, sometimes he do it to the detriment of himself. And I want to see RJ go bully today. I mean, I don't care who you're going up against. This is 3rd year. And he's good at what he do. I just think that today that limp took him out of his game, but he also took himself out of the game because I think that he wasn't aggressive like he needed to be. Not the RJ we used to seeing. I just think that he wasn't. And the 19 points, a lot of them points was like, you're trying to come back, you're down 15, so okay, you get to score some points. But to me, it was like there wasn't crucial points at a crucial time of a game. They were just pretty much when we already down 15 or we were down 15, 16, 17. So a lot of them points was really minute to me because it wasn't really getting us closer to the game or getting us ahead of the game. He just was going with the flow of the game. So I think that the minus 18 would stand out to me. And I'm a big RJ dude, man. That's my man. You know what I mean? But today, I just think that he's a C+ because I just think that he wasn't super aggressive today. He wasn't passing that ball with velocity. They was picking it off, and things like that. And it happens. Them cats is tired, man. They've been on the road for 4 games, 5 games, or whatever the case may be, and they probably were just ready to get home. And I'm not making no excuses for him, but that happens. But definitely, I think he just wasn't aggressive tonight. I think a lot of that 19 points was when we was down like 13, 14, 15, stuff like that. So it wasn't really when we were down 2 or 3 or 4, and he needed a crucial bucket, and the pressure was on, and he made them. So
I can see some fans, obviously, wanting to see more out of RJ. Guys, the 3rd overall pick. Yeah, we all have high hopes. Many still have high hopes as well. So I got a question to ask all of you too. Where we see RJ right now from where he was drafted to now. Are you still is his ceiling still the same in your eyes, or has his ceiling in your eyes changed, lowered or even raised? I'll come back around to you, Divine, but KJ, RJ Barrett, is his ceiling still the same to you, or do you think he's a bust, or do you think he's just not what we're expecting to see out of the third pick?
No, I don't think he's a bust. I'm not going to give him a bust label. No, I don't think he's a bust. For me, with RJ, it's just the leadership with him right now. He's still not showing that, especially at a time like right now, we need that in him. A young leader that can dominate. Show your dominance, man. If your jump's not working, take everything to the hole, get foul. Now he did do a little bit of that today, so I give him his credit. But we just need more of it, But to answer your question, CT, I don't know, man. I'm not giving him the bust label at all. I don't think he's a bust. Yeah. I think we need to see one more year of him if he's going to be here. If not, if he's still doing the same thing next year when he's here at the trade deadline, guess what? We're going to have to get rid of him.
Then you can still not think he's a bust, but is his ceiling as high as you hoped it was so far when we drafted him to now?
No, it's not.
Yeah, sharp hours. What do you think of RJ and his ceiling for what you're seeing so far? We've got a bit of a sample size now, three seasons.
I've watched RJ and every year he has tried to progress his game to the next level. Is he on the level of all-star status or something of that range yet? No, I don't believe so. Do I believe in the next a year or so, 2 years from now, could he possibly be somewhere close to that? I believe so. He's still a young player. He's still only 21. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he'll be 22 sometime this year. And he just has to fine tune his game. He has to find out what he's good at and what he's not good at. And he plays. He's getting every year. He gets something changes with him. He gets a little better with something else. This year's is his defense. And one thing that I hope that we could do is maybe to see if he can project himself a little better is maybe look to either move him back to the shooting guard position and have some maybe that might help him a little bit to get his game a little bit more organized. But he's still a good player, and I think in the next couple of years, I think his ceiling will grow and will be on the other side of talking of RJ being a bust. I don't think he's a bust, but just saying about bust.
It could be a bust on expectations that you had too. Doesn't mean like necessarily if he ends up a good solid player, maybe an all-star once or twice in his year, some people could still see that as a bust, given the expectations I had. That's all.
Correct.
But Divine, where do you sit with RJ and his ceiling?
I think RJ is still gonna be better than he is now, man. If you take everything into totality, he came in as a third pick. But he didn't come in as a third pick where you give him the ball and let him make all the mistakes he want to make. Let him know he's not John Morant, no guy, because they gave them guys the keys. Basically, we didn't give RJ the keys; we gave him to Julius Randle. You know what I mean? And that's a detriment of his. It's almost like he had to take second fiddle to the fourth, because normally when you're the third pick, you usually going to a team who was bottom dwellers. You know what I mean? They rebuild and you get to get all the shots you can get. You get to get better because nobody's taking minutes away from you, or they're not taking shots away from you. RJ came in he's not too many guys who come in at the third pick. He coming to the next year, that team that he's on, they got players like Julius Randle and these guys and Derrick Rose and them, he might respect them because they veterans. I mean, real veterans who are actually playing heavy minutes. He went from 14 to 17. Now, I think he would have went to 20, but I think the pieces that they brought in kind of caused RJ's game to take a backseat to Evan Fournier's shots, Kemba Walker's shots. You know what I mean? And then amongst the protocol and all that, I'm big on RJ. Because we all knew when we drafted he wasn't good. He didn't have a jump shot. We all knew that. The Knicks knew that when we drafted him. The man worked on his 3-point game. He got better at it. Every year this man gets better. I'm not going to make an excuse for him this year, but I do think because of the team that we brought in here. See, when we had Reggie Bullock last year, Reggie Bullock wasn't taking shots from RJ. You know what I mean? Ever Payton was not taking shots from RJ. Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier is taking shots from him. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get into that consistency when you got guys that you got to kind of like, you know what, this is the shot I normally would have took last year, but I got to pass it to this guy because now he, that's what the coach wants us to do. He's nowhere near busting me. RJ Barrett in the last 2 games, if you put it all together, he averaged 20-something points a game. 19, 26 the other night, 19 a day. I'm not concerned with him. I just think that because of the way the team was orchestrated this year, he was the second leader scoring in the Knicks last year. If RJ Barrett did not have the season he had last year for the Knicks, we wouldn't have went to the playoffs because he was second fiddle to Julius Randle. Julius Randle was 24 a game. He was 17 a game. He got us to the playoffs last year, him and Julius Randle. So, yeah, he ain't nowhere near no bust to me. And I just think that right now, because of the way the season is going, the pieces that we brought in, the COVID thing, the man been off for 10 games and blah, 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 whatever the case may be, it's affected everybody. And today, I just think that, there was just a lot of size there. And the man put up 19, but do I think he a bust? Do I think he got a high? I do, because he's the youngest dude on that team, actually. He's the youngest dude on the Knicks team right now, the youngest. And we brought in players this year. Jericho older than him. McBride older than him. Grimes older than him. Knox older than him. Obi older than him. He's the youngest dude on the Knicks team. But none of them cats can do what he can do though. They not reaching RJ Barrett's numbers because RJ Barrett got something that a lot of them cats don't got. He got that it in him. He got it in him, man. He a dog. I give RJ Barrett credit. So yes, he did not to make the going to losses, but I don't think he's nowhere near it. But I think the man gonna be fine. I just think that right now, if you take everything in totality, you got to look at that they brought in Evan Fournier and you put Kemba Walker in that starting lineup opposed to Alpha Payton, who don't look to take shots, and Reggie Bullock, who only gets to what he get when they pass the ball to get a shot. These other guys is taking them out of the rim, but they all trying to get bucket to score and blah blah blah. So it's time to do. That's what I say.
Yeah. For me, his ceiling is definitely lowered from where when we did draft him. From what I've seen, I'd hope he would be the number 2, a clear number 2, possibly number 1 by now. But I'm still high on him in terms of, do I believe his work ethic, his potential could get him there? It's just tough, seeing we were the worst team in the league that year, and we miss out on Zion. Obviously, I'm not too worried about that, but Ja Morant, and then it's RJ, then DeAndre Hunter. It's just tough, seeing this team need a bona fide dude to help Julius on a nightly basis. In his 3rd season, it's going to be tricky for the organization now to make that call, next season, and what his worth is. But I hope and pray that each game he just continues to get better and and looks a lot stronger and improves on his weaknesses. The shot creation and the shooting as well. Let's touch on the rest of the guys, and then we'll talk about where to from here. But Evan Fournier is, we all know our feelings on him. 26 minutes tonight, didn't shoot too bad. Hit all his free throws, 4 of 10 from the line, but he just has no impact anywhere else. See, no rebound, no assist, no steal, no block, and a turnover, but scored 20 points, you see. So it's disappointing, in a big signing again, comes up small. I'm going to give him a C minus tonight, Divine.
Yeah. I'll go C plus just because of the 20 points. That's it. Because like I said, his defense is his defense is tough, man. It's tough to watch Evan Fournier out there playing defense, man. It really is. Sometimes once that guy get past him, he gives up all the time. It's not like 1 time, 2 times. Every time that dude get in front of him, he just gives up. You know what I mean? He don't continue behind the guy to try to strip him from behind or try to grab the ball or whatever. And I think his defense was hurting that Knicks the most, man. And tonight he couldn't stay with his man. He just can't do it. He ain't quick enough. These young guys are energy, athletic. And I like the way he was aggressive today with the basketball. And all season long, he trying to get in that lane to make things happen. But I think because of his lack of wanting to get the ball up and pass to other people concerns me. Because it was time that he could have thrown Obi Toppin some stupid alley-oops today. Literally. I seen him. He had an opportunity to give out Obi Toppin a couple of alley-oops there. He just floats the ball up there. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I said them 20 points. But sometimes the points could be empty. Now I understand what people mean by empty stat. I never was the guy who looked at it like that. But Obi's top, I'm not Obi. Fournier's 20 points tonight was empty, man, because they was all. There's nothing else he did tonight that affected that team in no way. No way, you know, and it's nothing that he did. So yeah, he gets a C minus for me. I'm gonna go C minus. I just don't think that C plus. I said because he scored 20, but everything else, man, he just got to get better at being more of a facilitator too. Don't look. I know we brought you here to score, but that don't mean you have to score all the time. Pass the ball a little bit and get other guys involved. And if you got an open man and you get through that lane, man, and them guys coming at you, because that's one thing we get on Julius about. When them guys coming at him, we want him to kick the ball out, right? So he need to do the same thing. When them guys come at Evan Fournier, when he come down that lane and he see that team, shoot that ball to them dudes, man, and let them pop them threes or give Obi or somebody a baseline pass or whatever. I just don't see that in him consistently. So C plus tonight for me because of that reason.
Yeah. KJ Dub, Evan Fournier again.
B minus. He gets a B minus. Again, his defense looks terrible, but the one thing I'm gonna give him credit for is getting out there. The man's been hurt. He's playing tight. He played a lot of minutes again. He needs a rest, but did he do better from last game? He did. He did a lot better. His 20 points helped us out. Without his 20 points game, we probably would have lost by maybe 25, 30 points. So again, I called Evan Fournier the quiet assassin. His 20 points, I'm like, where did his 20 points come from today? I didn't really see the 20 points, but it came out of nowhere. I call him a quiet assassin, and he's a guy that is going to be needed for this team once we get our pieces back. If he can give us that on a consistent basis. I go consistent, and like I said, it's not about who's consistent, not who's consistent, but it's certain players on the team that has to be consistent on a night-to-night basis. Growing up, I liked Allen Iverson because I knew he was going to give me every single night. Allen Iverson was a Philadelphia 76er, but one thing he brought that toughness, he brought that heart, and he brought that every game. That's what we need in New York City. Who is that player?
Yep, great point. Sharp hours. Evan Fournier, his stock couldn't get any lower with this club right now, and the fans, and what we're seeing. Like I said, 20 points tonight, but didn't do anything else. Didn't get an assist, didn't get a rebound, no steal, no block, nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Fournier real short and sweet, man. I'm gonna give him a C. He scored 20 points, and that was pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. We'll talk more about what we can do to reconstruct this team, but Fournier's just not giving us anything. Taj Gibson, we can't really say too much for him. He's struggling in terms of the heavy minutes. Divine laboring, minus 17 tonight. Taj Gibson, he's a warrior. He's given us what he can, but we're not really. That's not what he was brought here to do, to play this heavy minutes.
Facts. Yeah. Hey man, and listen, he minus 17, but look at he 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Try to play that big front line, and one thing you can always get from that man is effort. It's effort. You can always get effort from him. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give him definitely give him I'm gonna just say a B minus today, just due to the fact he was outmanned down here. He had to play live 30 minutes, which he probably not used to playing at this age of his career, the stage of his career, and age. But he went out there. He's a warrior, man. He's the OG, man. You know what I mean? He's the ultimate competitor, man. And that's one thing about Todd Gibson. He's a competitor, and I wish everybody at the Knicks team had the competitive fire that he had. That we might be, our record might be different. That man come out there and play hard every night. Regardless of who we go up against, he go out there and bang it out with the best of them. But like I said, 7 rebounds. Hey, the man had 2 assists from the center spot. He don't have the athleticism like he used to, so obviously the blocks is not there. But I'm definitely going to give him a B minus because he just put in some good effort for me, man. That's one thing I like to see from him. He puts the effort out there.
Yeah, hopefully we get some help back, KJ, soon.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets to see for me tonight. We have a player coach out there right now in the NBA with him, and once we get some of the pieces back, like a Noel, Jericho Sims, I think Todd is going to take a nice vacation back on the bench and coach a little bit because he's tired, and then again, it's his career It's been a great career, but I think it's pretty much over at this point in time. And the Knicks should just say, you know what, Taj, it's time for you to make this a bench permanent job. So I don't think he'll be with us as far as playing after this year. But I like his effort, and I like the fact that he can teach these young guys how to go. You need a player like that in the league. You need players like that on the teams because they see things that people never seen before. That especially these young guys. So he gets to see a seat for me tonight.
Yep. Yeah. Sharp hours, definitely Taj is getting towards the end of his career, but I think he'll stick around this season. I think he'll stay as a player still.
Yeah, as long as Tibbs is on this team, this guy has a chance of playing seven minutes a night. Taj came out tonight and really played good ball. I mean, and he's a consummate vet, man. He comes out there and he gives you effort every time he gets on that court, man. I'm gonna stick Taj with a B minus C plus, B minus C plus. I'll give him I'm gonna give him a B minus because he really in the time that he was out there, he tried to grab some rebounds. He tried to put some points on the board. I mean, he didn't put too much points on the board. But one thing he did do, man, is he got out there and he scrapped. He got out there, got us some rebounds. And what else can you say for someone from Taj perspective? I give him a C plus. C plus. I'll go C plus. And I'll change it to say C plus for Taj Gibson tonight.
Yep. Yeah, and he's a warrior, and we'll continue to need him until we get Sims and Mitch back and Noel. I hope this team just needs to get healthy, man. Divine, this team just needs to get healthy and get our big men back, and then it'll be a different story, I think. And let's touch on the bench, shake things up, and one real positive for me, Quentin Grimes. I really liked his IQ on defense. Quentin Grimes, you can tell the talented, defensive players minded, being in the right position, getting the steals, getting the right, passing lanes. 4 steals tonight for Grimes in just 22 minutes. Hit 2 of 4 from 3, 4 of 7, 13 points, was a -6. Quentin Grimes, I really liked his game tonight, and I think it looked quite clear that he is a first-round talent, and I'm going to give him a B.
Yeah. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna say B minus due to the fact that he didn't really get it going until later on in the game. When he had the opportunity early, he wasn't there yet. But I agree with you 100%. CT, that defense, man. Look at 4 steals in 22 minutes, and this is important, guys. 22 minutes. Look at his numbers. He had 4 steals, 2 assists. He had a rebound. And he had 13 points. To me, he has more of a bigger impact than EF. You know what I mean? His stat line is more impactful. And that's why I wanted to see that man start in front of Evan Fournier, because he's more impactful. I'm not big on the empty stat thing. You can drop 50 points, you lose, it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It don't. So, and I just think that he impacts the game. His style of play impacts the game for the New York Knicks. That's why I'm going to give him his flowers tonight, man. I wish he would have started off a little earlier. It could have been a little different, but you can't put that on him. I'm just saying we would love to see him get out to a faster start. But I mean, he had an impact on the game, and that's what's the difference between him and all the other guys we be talking about who don't go out there and play both sides of the ball. And if their offense ain't going, then they ain't doing nothing on defense. This man, even if his offense ain't popping, his defense is legit. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean about things like that. And I like that guy, man. I think once he gets into a good flow and he learned the NBA a little more, he's a rookie. So think about it, he's a rookie just like McBride. Once he get a year on his belt, Quentin Grimes going to be here to stay. And I'm hoping the Knicks don't make a bonehead move and get rid of him, because he plays the type of basketball. He a two-way player. And what we need in New York, two-way players. He is legitimately a two-way player. And I like him, man. So I think I'll definitely give him a B minus, say, man. Only reason I give him a minus, guy, because of in the first half, he wasn't really into the game like he could have been. But then he turned it on in the second half. But I like him, man. I really like Quentin Grimes. I think he's gonna be special.
Yeah, facts. KJ. Just two-way guy. We need more of them on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, he gets to be for me tonight. Past couple of games, his shots been off. 2 for 4 tonight. Came together tonight, and the great thing about this guy's defense, he's a help defender. His help defense was immaculate tonight. Immaculate. I mean, let me tell you that's needed in the NBA. Not too many people play. Not too many vets play the way he plays, and he can only get better. So, for a guy like Grimes, he's a building block. It's just his rookie season. He's still learning. He never seen some of these defense they're throwing at him right now, and his shot looks pure every single time. So you can see his ceiling is going to be better again, but he gets to be for me tonight.
Yep. And sharp hours. Grimes, the one thing I guess he's solid is two-way. Some people aren't sort of seeing a standout skill set, but for me, that's okay. If you're an all-round player, I hope Quentin Grimes can be a starter still. That'd be a nice home run hit for us at the 25th pick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I definitely see this guy as being a starter. And I definitely see his game, elevating a little bit more. The more time he gets, the more time he steps on the court, the more he gets the ball in his hands and stuff like that. I think he's going to get better and better and better. Tonight, and what was it? 22 minutes. He scored 13 points, but those 4 steals and that help defense was something that I was grateful to watch tonight, and I'm going to give him a solid B tonight just for those 4 turnovers. They were at 2 of those turnovers were second, third quarter. We was trying to get back into it, and he was scrappy, and you can't give that ball to someone in the middle without seeing him step up and put his hands up. And he's a big guy, man. So when he puts his hands up and he puts that trap on you, you really have to really look out and find somebody, because if not, he's going to take that ball from you. So for me tonight, he gets a solid B.
Hey, CT, can I just say one thing real quick? He did something we were talking about earlier. I was talking about earlier. He did tonight. He put the ball on the floor, went to the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
He did that today. I said, listen, he got to stop only shooting 3-pointers, start driving that ball and getting to the hole. What did he do today? He put that ball on the floor and he went to the paint. You know what I mean? And that opens things up for him and the other people. I think this young man, he's getting it, bro. He's getting it. I just got to give him the flowers, man. He's getting it. He's going to be all right in New York as long as we keep him.
Yeah. One thing I've always wanted is smart players like Savvy, Pablo Prigioni, these type of dudes, and he gets it, right? It's one thing, it's a mental game too. His positioning is immaculate. He knows where to be. He's got the fight, the hustle, gets steals. And I'd be rapt if this guy can become a starter for us. And I can see him continuing to grow. This is only his rookie year, right? He's only been here a cup of coffee. He's had very limited minutes. And look what he's been able to show in this minutes. By the time we get to the halfway point of the season, later in the season, he's going to get more minutes. And I just cannot hope that anymore that Evan Fournier gets out of here and he can start stealing some more of those minutes. KJ.
Absolutely. It's to me, like I said, it's all about the coaching staff too. What are they seeing? Because if we can see it, we know they can see it, but it's what they want to do. It's just, to me, it's the offense. They need more plays in that offense. The offense is not gelling the right way. I know we talk about the pace, but the way the offense runs, they got like 1 or 2 plays that they run. They need to switch some things up on that offense, because it's not getting to their personnel. They're getting open, but these guys are not making shots. But I would agree with you all, guys. I would love for Grimes to start. Yeah, I think it's what's needed right now with him.
Yep, word. Quentin Grimes, we want to see him start and just continue to play. If this season, is a good test to continue developing, let's develop our first round pick.
Yeah, it's something to see, and what we're gonna do with Fournier, because they're playing the same position. I could even see, I see him coming as a shooting guard or something like that. So it's going to be some things that's going to have to happen this year for him to. I believe he's going to get some more minutes. I think he's going to play opposite of Fournier the rest of the year. So when Fournier comes out, best to believe, I think you're probably going to see Grimes coming into the ball game. I wish he could get some more minutes, man, because 22 minutes and scoring 13 points, you know what I mean? And he looked a little better tonight, man. And could you just imagine if he do 35 minutes, another extra 22 minutes, extra 13 minutes on the court a little bit more. So it's something to look forward to. And this is still his his rookie year. So imagine what's going to happen this offseason when he gets back home and he start lifting these weights and running track and playing ball and learning how to put the ball around his back or in between his legs to set up a short jumper, because he has a killer 3-pointer shot. If he can match his 3-pointer shot with a short mid-range game, two jabs and stop at the foul line and take that pop shot, he might be a real big threat in the next coming years.
Yeah, Divine. Summer League too. Grimes is going to get another Summer League in him.
Absolutely.
That's going to be nice for his development.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And you know what? He, like I said earlier, he's the definition of 3-and-D.
I can't see
that's just what he do. He might not have all the other skills to do all the other stuff, but he got the skill to be a 3-and-D, just like Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock didn't put the ball on the floor. He didn't go through the hole to all that stuff. That's the reason why he's not here. But Grimes is just another shorter version of a Reggie Bullock. He might not never develop all the skills we want him to develop. That's fine. Some players not going to be able to have all the tools in the shed, but they're going to be good at one thing that they do. And he's good at being a sniper. So he mastered being a sniper and playing defense. Because even regardless of what who he is, I'm only comparing him to Reggie Bullock because of his style, not how big he is, not what he do. No, because of what he do. He's a 3-and-D specialist. The cat can D you up and he can sniper. Until he learned the other nuances of getting down, breaking down off the dribble, getting in the lane, he'll learn that. He's a rookie. He will learn it. He's the 25th. He will learn that in time. You got to give these guys time. You can't ask these guys to be other guys who've been here 6, 7 years, 10 years. No, he's a rookie. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing I say about even Obi. Obi is a second-year player. You got to give these guys time, man. You can't expect them to come in here and be. Unless you you just gifted, you know what I mean? CT guys, unless you're just born gifted, you just born with a gift, no matter what, you was born that way. You know what I mean? Some of these guys got to work on their game, work on their craft, get better at it as time go on, and that's what I do believe. Quentin Grimes, why the reason why I like him in that lineup? If you just let's hypothetically say with Mitchell Randall, RJ, and Quentin Grimes, he makes that defense much better. He make it much better defensive. He don't have to worry about too many guys taking shots away from other guys, because all he need to do is find him in the right spot. He launch it. And if he popping it, okay, whatever. So yeah, man, I do think that sky's the limit for that young man. He'll get better. CT, he a rookie, man. He a rookie. And sometimes we got to stop putting so much pressure on these guys, man. Sometimes when these guys don't go right, we start throwing them to the doghouse. Man, they rookies, dude. They rookies. Everybody not John Morant. Everybody not Zion Williamson. Everybody's not who out there balling this year, Evan Mobley. Some people ain't that skillful. They just got a certain skill set that they got to master to make themselves better. I think Quentin Grimes is that dude for sure.
Yeah, he's going to be around for years to come. Him and Deuce, we definitely did well in this draft, KJ. But let's touch on Quickly too, because he's part of the future in many people's eyes. Emmanuel Quickly's been a letdown for me in these last 2 games. He's been a letdown. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, he's another guy in the RJ boat. Streaky, very streaky. We some nights he looks like he's turned that corner. He could do it, but tonight, again, Quickly with 9 points. He has to show what he has out there when you get an opportunity. D Rose is out right now. Kemba Walker's out. So in his defense is there, but it's too easy for him. So I just don't know with him right now, with Quick right now. It's just I agree with you, CT. He hasn't really shown me on not every night, but the guy that we expect could be a future point guard on his team, he's not showing me he can do that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Divine, I've been still high on him and what he can be for this team, but yeah, it's interesting why Tibbs just doesn't give him the starting nod, and there's probably he sees a lot more than we do. So
I just think that right now he's a combo guard, and that's who he is. He's a combo guard. You can use him, and you can use him, and you can use him if you need him there. But like we've been saying this all year. We all say he's not a point guard. So it is what it is. He's not a point guard. So he can play it, but he's not one. And I think tonight, I'm gonna give quickly a C plus. And I think the problem tonight was when he was going up against bigger dudes. Scotty Barnes and them, and Trent, the excellent defender. Gary Trent, the defender, with the best of them. Quickly had a good year this year so far. I'm not going to throw too much shade at him. I just think that he is a two-way guard. He could dribble the ball good. And I just think that tonight he just got exposed by the bigger lineup. The bigger guys. I seen him one time trying to guard Scotty Barnes. Then I seen him trying to guard Trent. Then I seen him trying to guard all of them cats that he just don't got no matchup against. You know what I mean? And he got exposed tonight on that end. But just like our whole team got exposed tonight because them cats was way. And I said that before the even game started in the pregame. That team got link defenders. I mean, them cats, don't sleep on them boys, man. You better not sleep on Toronto in the second half of the season because them cats could be up in there. That's how good they are. And I just think that they had no answer for that size today. But he's inconsistent, like you guys said. But like I said, he's another guy. He's a second-year ball player, 25th draft pick. He's coming off his rookie year. I mean, we can't expect a guy to be consistent every game, and you just came into the NBA. You playing against way superior competition. I mean to say. It's going to be like that for him. For him, Grimes, with Bry, Obi, and all the guys, you're going to see that consistency for the next couple of years. For the next 2 or 3 years, they're going to be like that. Just like RJ. You're going to see that till they master the nuances of these guys that's out there. And until then, we're going to be talking about Quickly's inconsistency. We're going to be talking about Grimes' inconsistency. We're going to talk about all these guys' inconsistency. We're going to be talking about it for the next 2 years. They rookies. That's all I can really say. I'm not beating these guys up because sometimes Quickly lights it up, sometimes he don't. They young, man. These cats are real young. They real young. These cats can't even buy liquor, some of them. So, you just got to take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Let them grow. Just let them grow, man. Let them make their mistakes. Let them grow on the fly. Let them get better. Let them, every day they come in. Like I said, you got to think about Quickly and Obi Toppin. No summer league last year, none of that stuff. They come out this year, work out, and they have a better season. Remember, Quickly was good for us last year. Played all season long, averaged 11 points a game in the NBA. You got some guys ain't even averaging 4 points in the NBA. At least that man averaged consistently 11 points last year. Knocked it down, good free throw at one of the best 3-4 shooters in the league actually right now. So he got things he need to work on. CT. I won't beat him up a little bit too much, man. I just got to give him a chance to grow. But I definitely going to give him a C plus. Like I think he could have played better for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm high on the things that he's strong at. You know what I mean? He has some strengths that we've been needing. The deep range, the shooting. That I'm just more as a fan. I'm hoping that some of these players can develop a more rounded skill set to become an all-star one day. Hopefully, we just hit a home run on one of these players that really, really pop. That's all I'm hoping for, man, as a fan. And with some of these young dudes, we've had so many draft picks in the lottery, guys, and we just need to hope that a couple of them really pan out, right? Pan out. I'm over sort of picking run-of-the-mill dudes, like you said. Ending up with dudes that just never cap out, never achieve their potential here. And I definitely know it's early with a lot of them, and they're going to have chances, they're going to have opportunities. But I guess given our history with Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and that, there's a lot of people with frustrations over failed draft picks.
Hey, CT, I got a question for everybody. How do you guys think our front office is feeling right now, as far as with this team going forward? Being that the East has got better, do you think they feel the pressure on trying to turn this thing around?
No question. I think they're ready to dibble dabble in this trade market. I don't think they made all these trades and set all these contracts out this year just to be not in a play-in at least. I think these guys want to. The front office have to show face, and I think Leon Rose is going to do something to help us get at least into one of these play-ins, or possibly go on a nice little run and make it into the higher rankings of the fifth or sixth seed. So I think they're ready to make. I think the front office is ready to make a move. I think they sitting like we're sitting here talking about them. That they're seeing the lack of defense in Fournier. I think they're seeing the inconsistency of Knox. I mean of Noel. I think they're seeing what we're gonna do with Knox, and can we put some people together and get two or three people in here to help us make a strong running into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're going to try Divine. I think they're going to try to rectify this thing. Definitely, there's a lot at stake for them. And I think they're feeling the pressure, no doubt. I think Tibbs is feeling the pressure. To be honest, I didn't think Tibbs thought we'd get this kind of play inconsistency. I still thought, even though Tibbs lost some of his defenders, I think he still the ego in him probably thought I could coach these guys up to give more effort and be better. But I think they're feeling the pressure, Divine.
Yeah, it's a difficult season, actually, to be honest, man. I think the game changed with the COVID-19 thing and all that. I like I said, that's why I was telling you, I thought I was being run on a rant, but I wasn't trying to run on a rant. I was just trying to be real. They expected Evan Fournier to give us way more than he gave us, and that's my whole thing. Sometimes when you bring pieces together. And you expect that one piece to make your team be a certain way. If that piece don't pan out the way you want to, it throws the monkey wrench in this here. So now that Evan Fournier didn't work out and Kemba Walker didn't work out, it threw a monkey wrench in it. And now you asking all these young guys, rookies, to come in here and pick up the slack for a bunch of veterans. You asking young dudes who just got to the league to come in the New York team and be what these guys are being. And it didn't pan out like that. Like Evan, you can't ask Quentin Grimes to be Evan Fournier, because Evan Fournier been in the league 10 years. My man been in the league 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. I think it threw a monkey wrench in it. But I'm just gonna wait until these guys get back and wait till the trade deadline get here, because I would be, I'll play this here. If I'll say, you know what, this team sucks now, when I was coming into the season saying we're gonna win 50 games, then I'm gonna be like, So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait and see until the February 10th come by, because we still got a whole month to turn this thing around. You might got to wait till all the pieces get back. You know what I mean? We got to wait. Listen, we might not like Noel, but Noel anchored this team last year. We missing that.
Right.
We missing Noel's defense.
We are
missing that big time in New York City, that anchor in that defense. He came out the gate hurt. Preseason, none. Training camp, none. Missed half of the whole first season. That's a major reason why we didn't play good defense. Fournier, Mitchell Robinson came back off of 9 months. It just, the season started so crazy. Kemba Walker's injuries, and not injuries, but his in and out, Fournier's inconsistency. Then everybody going into COVID, the protocol, everything. It's just been a crazy for a season right now. But I just want to wait till the team all get together, get back healthy, get everybody back, see what you do in the next 10 games before the trade deadline. And if they turn the thing around, that's fine. If not, then you deal and get the players you need in here. But the front office, to me, I think they thought they had a plan. They thought I guarantee you this here, CT, real quick, and I'll pass the mic. None of them guys in the front office, none of us as Knicks fans, thought that Evan Fournier was going to be like this year.
Facts.
Let's picture Jack, bro. They did not picture this man stinking up the joint like this here. They didn't expect. When we got Kemba Walker, we thought Kemba Walker was going to play some games and produce certain time, which he did. But now that the man is out, you asked us to take Deuce McBride. No Derrick Rose, who we missing dearly. I think that was the biggest injury we had this year with Derrick Rose, bar none.
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah, it was huge, man. So it's kind of tough right now with the way the season going, with the injuries, the protocol, the inconsistency with some of the players. It's hard. It's hard to really say that the front office fails. I don't think they failed. I just think that the players, because of the situation, that made it kind of difficult. But I do think by the trade deadline they will the deal. To make sure. I just wanted to make sure that we cross all the T's and dot the I. The reason why the Knicks season is like this year. Noel played 41 games, and that man was a monster down there. He was in the defensive player of the year category to me last year, and we missing that. We missing it. You know what I mean? And some things that affect your team. And when people ain't popping like you thought they would, it affects the team. Like I said, I didn't think Fournier was gonna do this, man. Change the whole game for us this year.
Yep, KJ, give us your response to your question.
Yeah, I think they I'm actually lost, guys. I don't know because you know what it's just it's frustrating from the season they had last year, and we keep harping on last year and this year, and then we get this, and then we think we're here, then it's not here, then it's like what we're gonna do. If I'm Leon Rose, if I'm James Dolan, I'm pulling my hair out right now because some of the acquisitions you see around the league that they went off, and we could have had these guys like a DeRozan, like Alonzo Ball, a Kelly Oubre, like the decision making. What happened? Yeah. You guys did great on the draft, but the decision making was off, and somebody has to be held accountable for it. And then you got Tibbs in here trying to do his best management job as far as getting people time. So it's just, to me, it seems a little off between the management, the coaching, and at the front office. Everything seems off right now. And then I play it. So it's like, I don't know, guys. I really don't.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I know you had to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. I think the front office, right? Everyone's expecting all four, or Leon, Wes, Perry, to all have the same ideas and the same agree on everything. They're probably in a room like we are, debating, arguing every single day. There's no consensus with these dudes. You put 4 cooks in a kitchen. They all got different ways to make a meal.
Facts.
So I think, yeah, like there could be scapegoats, but I think a part of these moves were inconsistent with some of the identity we had, Divine, because there's just different dudes right now. I mean, James Dolan gave Leon, an amateur president, the reins, right? But he's put other experienced dudes around him to make sure that he has guidance. But I think, like we said with DeRozan and that, Perry wanted him. Some people wanted Lonzo. So I think the problem I'm seeing is that, yeah, they can't agree on certain things.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I'm not in the office with them guys. But I could say this right here. See, we might have been over. How would I say? As fans, we thought this team was better than they were. Maybe Vegas was right, hypothetically. Maybe we were so psyched about them winning 41 games last year. We thought they could be better this year and go win 50. Maybe Vegas seen something that we didn't see. But I could say this right here. We could have gone at a lot of players. That don't mean that the other team didn't have better offers. They didn't have better stability. They didn't have, maybe these players don't want to come here because of what we're going through right now. Because they might have let New York fans, man, every time we lose, they just think like we ain't nothing. Maybe that's why they don't want to come here. Because the minute we lose, we too emotional. I love our fan base. We got the most novel fan base in the world, but sometimes our fan base over the years, they too emotional. Without dealing with the reality of certain things. The reality of the New York Knicks this year is decimated injuries, COVID-19, like every other team in the league. We brought in 2 players that we thought were going to pan out. I guarantee you a lot of teams would have signed Evan Fournier. We weren't the only ones going to sign him. I bet you a lot of other teams would have signed him if he was available. A lot of teams wanted Nerlens Noel. A lot of teams wanted these guys we got. You know what I mean? But right now in New York, because of the situation the way it is, we just going through something right now, man. Like I said, this team of 41 and 31 with the same players, just about. Except for the 2 main ones that we brought in so far, they not panning out. Not because of the front office made a bad move. It's just that them cats ain't playing no basketball. Evan Fournier been popping his whole career for the last 5 or 6 years. If I was the GM, I probably would have signed him too. Like, okay, this cat can give me 18, 19 points a game. I'll sign him, no problem. He's that good. But unfortunately, Evan Fournier sneaking up the joint. He's one of them. Kemba Walker didn't pan out the way we wanted to because of his knees. We took a gamble on him. We thought he would come in here and maybe he can give us a game, at least 43 games like he gave us in Boston last year. 19 a game. That ain't pan out. So I mean, they swung, they made, and that not only with the Kemba Walker, I'm not concerned about that because you know why? He was like a B, a C, a D option. He probably wasn't our first pick. He probably wasn't our second pick. He probably wasn't our third pick, but we got him because he was available for the money.
Facts.
And his money, his talent is worth $9 million. He is. The kid is worth $9 million.
Yep.
He was a max player who just got bought out. So we probably think about, you know what? Maybe if he give us enough with him and Derrick Rose together, just give us enough. 24 minutes for you, 24 minutes for you. And we might can hold down at least this point guard spot to get us in the playoffs and make a move. And I just think that's what happened to me. And I just think I said the Derrick Rose injury changed the Knicks season so far to me. Out of all the injuries we got this year, I think he is the most detrimental to the team because he was that cat who had that team under control in that second unit. He was that spark. He know how to run the floor. He know how to manage the game. So it's a lot of things, CT. But I'm gonna hold judgment to the end of this, to the trade deadline because I guarantee if these Knicks go home tomorrow, if they win the next 3 games, like I said, we'd be 500. We back in this thing, you know what I mean? And then we get all our players back. Let's judge this team when Julius get back, when Noel get back, when all these dudes get back. We full strength and we ready to say, let's go hard and see what we do. Because if not, then we're going to be having this conversation all the time about guys that we just thought that wasn't good. I just think that right now, I don't want to throw the front office under the bus because them cats did a phenomenal job with this team, man. They took us from 21 wins to 41 wins in 1 year. Leon Rose came in here and they helped guide this thing in the right direction. We are headed in the right direction. So I don't want all the losing and all the inconsistency to be like the Knicks suck. That's my standpoint on it. Like we just gotta wait, man. Let these guys get back together after this COVID thing. I think it screwed up the whole thing with the COVID situation, man. I mean, like RJ too. He just got off of COVID 2 games ago. The man been out 10 games, and now we ready to throw him. We ready to say,
Yeah, the season is compromised.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. It is compromised, and I'm going to be asking everyone a safe bet bowl prediction, coming up. So start to think about what you might, have for a safe bet or bowl prediction. But before that, I want to talk about, the New York Knicks. Obviously, the Kemba Walker news. We're waiting to hear the severity of this injury. Right, the New York Knicks pulled the trigger on a move, a veteran point guard, just like I predicted. Remember I've been saying for months now. I think the New York Knicks would look to either replace Selden with a vet point guard because the Derrick Rose Kemba thing's a bit shaky, and they pulled the trigger on Ryan Arcidiacono. He's a good couple years in Chicago. The Chicago fans quite high of him. He's pesky, he plays hard. He can run in the pick and roll, and he shot 37% for his career. Right, 37% from 3. He can shoot it. KJ, what did you think of this move, and what do you think that might mean for Kemba and Rose in that situation? Why they did this move? Just before I said, the guy who reported it, Shams, has also hinted that it's a signing for the rest of the season. So he's heard stuff.
Right. So that means somebody's out the door. And to me, it's either Kemba or D Rose, but my money would be Kemba. Deal for Kemba to bring this guy in. I'm going to be completely honest. Streets is Buzzing Nation in that chat. I really don't know much about this guy that we brought in.
Me neither.
However, if he could be another Jerry Lin story, I'll sign up for it today. Because that's what we need.
He's from Nova, and they have a good culture, a good sound fundamentals.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, like I said, anything can help at this point. If you can come in and be a serviceable point guard and do some things, slow the pace down and do something different, why not? At this time, we're trying things out right now, being that everybody's out. So it can't hurt. Throw the man in the game. Let's see what he can do for a couple minutes out there. And if he does well, keep him. It could be another feel-good story.
Yeah, Wilson's point. Yeah, he's Divine. Do you know how tall he is? He's undersized a bit, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's around 6'2", 6'3", 6'1". He's really he's a 4-year Villanova. Playing in Villanova under the coach, man. One of the best coaches out there in the league. National championship winner. Played with them guys at Villanova when they won a title. He played with Chicago Bulls for a while. Diacono, he can knock down a 3-ball. Pesky young man. it can't hurt compared to what some of the things that's going on with New York right now, because we need players. And that's the thing I'm happy about. I'm happy about our front office is still trying to find a way to fix some of these broken things we got, man. So salute to as much as we get on the front office, at least they trying to bring in guys that can kind of help this team. You know what I mean? So we give him the flowers on that, but I think he'd be serviceable. Let's see. I don't know if he get time or not. That's hard to say. I'm not gonna say he's a savior, because he might be on a 10-day contract. He still might just be a situational player. I don't know. But he got something that the other young guys don't got. That he got experience, and that might. And you notice what happened today. Prime example, real quick. What happened when we started getting out of that game was getting out of him. What did Tibbs do? He went to all his experience. Grimes wasn't in. McBride wasn't in. None of them guys. He put Alex Burke, all the experienced guys in there, because you got to have the mentality to know how to play basketball in certain situations. So that's why I said let's not get too crazy with these young dudes. But I think he can come and help, because he's been around long enough to know how to contribute to the team. Hopefully.
Yeah, you hit the nail there. Yeah, KJ and Shah. He plays D. I did peep some games. He played for Chicago. The main thing is he can handle the team. He can run the team. He's a point guard. He can facilitate out of the pick and roll. He can shoot. He can pop up. He can shoot. He's not going to be no world beater or whatever. But we need it. We need someone with experience. Like we've been saying, D Rose is going to be out till after the All-Star break, or after the trade deadline. Kemba Walker, them knees, he's not going to wake up tomorrow and the knee issue is going to be better. We're probably going to get some news from Woj or Shams any minute to say that he's out indefinitely. So what does that leave us with Deuce quickly and Burks? And now that's why we need it. These dudes pulled the trigger based on the need straight away. And we need another experienced floor general, in the worst way. And I'm just looking forward to when Randall gets back and everyone else can get healthy. Hopefully this 5-day protocol thing, KJ helps us get back healthy soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, to your point about the new guy we brought in, these guys know. They've been doing their research, scout department, front office. They've been doing their scout department. And right now, they're trading pieces. I mean, maybe it's a deal for Kemba Walker or Kevin Knox. They're on the table. They're already. These guys know what they want to do. I'm not going to bring somebody in. I don't know nothing about them. In this case, they did their due diligence. So if it can help the team, it can help the team. It's just, what do we got to lose right now? Right? We're trying. We're working with the pieces that we got right now, being that our horses are really out. So we got to try things until those guys come back. So I'm with whatever they want to do, because, like I said, they show me they can draft well. They know basketball, but it's some things they didn't do well. So let's see how can they. The biggest thing is now, how can the front office and the New York Knicks turn this season around to something positive? That's where I'm at right now. Another feel-good story.
I think it's coming. I think we're about to get healthy, to be honest. Think about everyone, when it rains, it pours, right? It pours. And that's what we've been dealing with. And everyone's going to come back at the same time. Like, I think we even got Luka Samanic healthy, for God's sake. We've been crying out for all these bigs, and then Luka finally becomes healthy now, Shah. So I think he could start being called up soon.
Right.
To say about this new pick that we picked up, must mean that the Knicks front office knows something about what's really going to go on with Kemba. They may not put it out yet. They may not have said something about it yet, but it may be something that I don't know. But bringing up another point guard, and Kemba is just having sore knees, and maybe something a little bit more to that sore knee issue. So the reason why I think they brought him up, could be maybe because something's going to drop about Kemba in the next couple of days. By the next in a couple of games, all these guys, like we all saying, in a couple of games, all these guys are going to come back, and we should have, I don't know what's going to happen. Like you were saying earlier, KJ, I'm at all. I don't know what's really going to go on, but I believe that something's going to change and something's going to happen, and we're going to get a couple of players in here to help us through the rest of the season.
Yeah, Divine. I think this is a pro front office. They're making moves. They're listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't get Leon Worldwide West in here for no reason. They're supposed to be connected, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even dwelling on the front office because the front office don't shoot the basketball.
Facts.
The front office don't rebound. They don't run curls. I mean, listen, all they do is put the players out there, and them players go play. Our players is not playing basketball. I mean, like I said, I don't get it. I don't think Leon Rose and them got that bad from last year to this year. All of a sudden, they was a bomb last year. Front office and seconds of the year, you ask me, and then the next year because our players thinking up the joint, now they not, man, please. Let Evan Fournier get his thing popping. Let RJ get his thing popping. Let Noel get back healthy. Let Randall get back from protocol. I mean, these guys don't shoot the basketball, man. Leon Rose ain't going 0 for 9 from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? He ain't the one shooting 3-point, missing shots like that. He's not the one playing defense out there. You know, I mean, I just think that it is crazy that, sometimes you got to hold players accountable.
Facts.
You got to hold the players accountable. Because them the ones out there dribbling the ball. Them the ones let the defense go past them getting easy buckets. And I'm quite sure if Leon Rose didn't come on the court and stop them from doing that, then they come in and do it. But I think this front office is fine. I think they're doing a phenomenal job in New York City. And just because we on a bad losing streak today with a bunch of players who are not playing, now that I don't even think that's the case. I'm just being real from my perspective. That front office is not the reason why the Knicks is 17 and 20. It's them players, bro. It's the players not performing. We pay them players to perform. We pay Fournier to perform. We pay RJ to perform. We pay these guys to get out there and handle their business. If you don't handle your business, you can't blame the front office because these cats missing shots. I mean, and when they signed them, they used to do that. So I do think that I'm not too concerned with the front office, to be honest with you. I just think that we just got to get our players back, man. Get our players back healthy. Get everybody back. And let's see if we can make a run at this thing. But I'm not going to throw the front office under the bus until the end of the year. Now, at the end of the year, if the team, the guys got better, but they ain't performing to a certain degree, yeah, I say, okay, well, maybe you brought in the wrong players. Maybe these guys just don't fit the Knicks. But I did not think Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker were going to be this bad for us, and I don't think they did that neither. And this is from somebody who run a business. I am a businessman, so I got to look at the reason why I look at it from a business standpoint. I mean, you know what? If I put a tenant in one of my houses, I'm thinking that this cat gonna pay his rent every month. If he don't pay his rent every month, it might not necessarily been my fault. It must maybe the tenant that I bought in there, he told me something on his application that wasn't true, and the man ain't got no money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just think that we got to kind of ease it up on the front office, man. I think that Stone got done this early when them cats last year, we was all up in this joint talking about 50 wins at the beginning of the season. And nobody blamed the front office at the beginning of the year. We told them we were going to win 50 games. All of a sudden, I'm just saying that to me, 17 and 20, because the season is it's just disarray, man. With all the COVID shit and all the injuries, look at the Lakers, prime example. Lakers got super, they right where we at. You know what I mean? Because it's just the way the season going. I mean, they got LeBron James, them cats 17 or something. It's tough. It's tough.
I just want to see them see how connected they are to correct some of the players that aren't underperforming.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like they gotta, Devon, I do agree with you to an extent as far as of course we were happy preseason. We got all these wins, but we got to call it how it is. Them guys made a big mistake with that Fournier contract, But I do agree with you. They have been doing a good job. It's just it is. I agree with you to the point. It is on the players to perform well, but somebody has to come in right now and say enough is enough. Us as a Knicks fan base, we can't keep seeing the same product on the floor night and night. Even when Julius came back, it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing on defense. Our defense is not fixed yet, even with Julius and Mitch there. 2-3 zone, we cannot handle a 2-3 zone from any other team right now with Mitch and Julius here. We have to correct that too as well. So it's a lot going on here. COVID protocol, it's a lot. But again, the season's still young, but I just had to get that off.
ACT real quick, and I agree with that, but that's why we got to wait till the trading deadline. I mean, what do you want the front office to do right now? Nobody in the NBA is trading with all these people out on 50 Celtic protocol. They can't fix it today. They can't fix it right now because of the way the league is set up with all these people out on protocol. It's 10 players out on each team. There's not going to be no willing dealing right now. Because if it is, we would have made a move already. I think they will fix it, but I think we got to wait. You know what I mean? That's what all I'm saying is wait, be a little bit more patient. Wait till February the 10th, and let's see if they make a move. Until then, we nothing we can do. There's nobody trading nobody right now. Nobody in the NBA going to deal with no trade because of the health and safety protocol. I just think the season is messed up right now, man. And I think we got to be patient with the front office until February 10th and see if they find out. They might already got a plan. CT and Bashar and them, they might already got a plan. They just can't pull that trigger yet because of the situation with all these 10-day people out on protocol and this and that. They probably got a plan already. We got to wait and see. I think we got to wait and see.
You're right. I think they're surveying with different teams. Just they're already talking about in discussions. They're just waiting for the right time. Like you said, Devon, I hope that they pause the season a bit. Tonight wasn't a good look with an empty arena. And I salute them for doing the right thing at this point. Just to pause the havoc that's being wreaked right now, Shah. And let's hope we pause for a week or two just so we can see the right trades go down, movements. That does get fans juiced up, excited.
Yeah, a quick slowdown and shutdown will really help the team. Well, at least help the Knicks, man. If we could slow down the team right now for about slow down the league for about 10 days, 2 weeks to get everybody back healthy from all this protocol and stuff. I think during that 2 weeks it should be a time for teams to be able to make changes and stuff like that. That will really help a lot. So take 10 days, 2 weeks or so to get everyone healthy back with the protocol and everything like that. And then within these 2 weeks of the 10 days or 2 week time, have everything eligible for people to make trades. So this way, everybody can start off on the same page. Everybody's safe, can clear up their safety protocols and everything like that. Everybody has a chance to have all their teams get a little more healthy in the 2 weeks. And within those 2 weeks of time, right around the trade deadline, maybe the February 1st to the 15th, everybody could be on hiatus. And maybe they can make some good trades right around that time. That would sound like a smart thing for the NBA to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they're going to do it. Yeah, Divine. I think they're going to bow to some pressure because we just can't keep having this product. It sucks as a product right now. Let's be honest, right? How do fans know who's going to play on each night? How are fans? We're seeing the standings all askew right now. All it's going to take is a couple big stars, big names, to speak up, to speak up on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. It's tough, man. When you think about our team, just when Mitchell Robinson started to play good basketball,
man.
You know what I mean? Just when Julius Randle probably say, okay, I got Mitchell Robinson playing good ball, and then Kemba started playing good ball, but then he got to go out. You know what I mean? It's just one of them seasons, man. But I do think next Thursday, I'm listen. Wait till we get our horses back. That's all I can say. And I'm not judging none of these players to the end of the year. I'm not judging RJ just because RJ might not be playing good now. Don't mean he won't turn it on at the end of the season. And next thing you know, the man scoring 20 a game and popping. You know what I mean? I just think that it's a tough situation to find consistency when you're in a season like this here. You know what I mean? It's just hard to find that consistency, man. When the season is just going the way it's going. You know what I mean? It's a tough call right now. And until we get the thing, PT get it back to a little bit of normalcy, at least a little bit of normalcy, and maybe we can really start judging all these players, man. I can't even judge the young boys right now. You know what I mean, with this COVID stuff. Like McBride just got back off a protocol, so he's not good. He was out for 10 games. He couldn't get a rhythm. I think that grind. These dudes been in protocol. It's a hot mess, man. I mean, this is crazy. So that's why I don't want to judge none of these players. That's why I'm not saying they stink or they doesn't. Because you know what? It's just a tough season right now, man. With all this stuff going on, let's hope the second half of the season be different. We can get on a run, man, and change a lot of our thoughts about this team. I believe this team got talent. I believe they're good enough to be in the playoffs. And I still think they're good enough once they get back healthy and get this camaraderie back together and the chemistry back together. And then you might have to see McBride and them cats go back to being situational. let's say if all our guys come back and we strong and ready to go, we popping, you might not see no Simmons and McBride and them that much anymore. Because they might say, you know what, we got our guys, but we done won 4 or 5 games in a row. We trying to get back in the playoffs. This season might go the way they projected from the beginning if everybody come back. So
I think Kemba's the biggest question mark, Shah.
Well, to bounce back real quick off of what you said, Divine, RJ just coming back from protocols, McBride just coming back from protocols, who I say RJ, McBride, Grimes,
quickly,
Obi, so you know, I mean, just to speak out loud, yeah, you're right. They all just coming back, and they all really trying to get their wind back back under their wings, man. So I really understand where you're coming from when you say that, man. And what was the question, CT? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, with Divine saying, great point about our health and everything. You know, when we get everyone back, the dudes may go situational, but I think Kemba Walker's not going to be around much longer. I've just got a feeling either the injury or something.
I think sometime this week, I think we may hear something about Kemba may be out 4 to 6 weeks because of the knee injury, leg injury, or what's going on with him. I'm not wishing that to happen. I'm hopeful for him not to be that way, but bringing up this guy that we just was talking about and Kemba being out, and this is 2 consecutive games after him being out. I really think something's going to really show over this next week. So we may not be able to put Kemba in a trade, but I think Kemba might be laboring a little bit, and he might be out for a couple of weeks coming.
Yeah, and I think KJ, how is there going to be a narrative if Kemba does have to sit out or is done for? Is there a narrative that Tibbs ended his tenure? Did he burn him out? 40
well, he wore that knee out.
35 minutes. There's going to be that narrative. Like, why did you play him that much?
Absolutely. That's been Tibbs' narrative before he got here. He burns his plays out. Jimmy Butler, Anthony Towns, D Rose. He plays them to the ground. So of course it'll be a narrative there. But you know what? I think from the business standpoint, it's a lot of things that go in behind closed doors. I think the New York fans, we understand it. We know it's business. We can see the writing on the wall right now. This man, he wants to his management go to Lakers or somebody. Go to a championship caliber team. You'll help the team out. The Lakers taking everybody. Might as well take Kemba off our hands anyway, Lakers, and come on and get it done with. Give us a couple draft picks, whatever the case may be. So of course it's going to be a narrative going on. So absolutely.
I mean, I wish they could have moved Kemba for Rondo. I wish we could have made that move. I think Rondo would have came here and set a precedent here with being a old school point guard that knows how to pass the ball and facilitate and do all that stuff. I think that would have worked a little better for us. I mean, just to say, but something's gonna happen with Kemba this week, man. I don't know what's gonna be said. Who's gonna find out what happened with Kemba or whatever? Who knows? Kemba might be back the next game.
Yeah, Divine. I just think they should have traded him after the triple double.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Like I said, we much as I get a front office praise for a lot of things, that one right there, we thought we was over these recycled broke players who injured like that, but I guess they thought that they can get more than they got out of them. The Knicks probably thought that Kemba Walker could play the whole season, but maybe not every game. I mean, you can't. The man set out for 2-3 weeks. You can tell me he can't go back to making set out for 3-4 weeks. Well, if that's the case, then he must have been broken down before he went into 3-4 weeks. You've been gone for 3 weeks. You can't play a back-to-back basketball game? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's because he poured everything he had into proving. That's why he come out and burst out that 44 piece, and that he was putting every last drop of gas he had left.
Hey guys. We seen the Jerry Lin. It only took Jerry Lin 2 weeks. Kemba said, "You know what? You're gonna sit me down in 10, 11 games. I'm gonna come out 1 week and I'm gonna be player of the week in the NBA. 22 points, 21 points, a triple double. Guess what? His stock is high. So guess what? The Knicks got to do? The Knicks got to get rid of the stock. I mean, capitalize on the stock being so high right now at this point.
And you know what's funny to me though? And I listen, when Ken Walker dropped 44, right? And the next night he played, when nobody tripping. Nobody tripping.
They ain't say nothing.
They ain't say nothing about back-to-back. Oh, he played too many minutes. The minute we start losing, and now the man, the old Tiz played him too much. Come on, man. You never heard a player in the NBA that coached for Tibbs. You never heard if Derrick Rose felt like my man Tom Thibodeau burnt him out, he wouldn't have followed Tom Thibodeau to Minnesota, to New York, Todd Gibson. You never hear these guys say that. You never hear none of his players ever heard say that he run us to the ground. Who played the highest league? Who played the most minutes in the league this year in the NBA? It's not a Knick.
Surely ain't.
It's a night in the NBA right now. It's not a Knick. Come on, man. We got to go ahead with that. Our team just ain't playing no good ball, man. We can't blame Tiff for all these motherfuckers that ain't doing their job. You know, we can't.
But I do want to say, we still, like, to CWC's point, we're missing the point guard, still floor general. We're still year after year. We haven't solved that issue now.
Still haven't.
D Rose is out with the ankle. Kemba's probably not going to play again. It's Deuce and it's Ryan Archie Diakonu. You know, because I don't see Quickly now as not a starting point guard anyway. Maybe combo guard on the bench. That's where he needs to stay. Give Deuce the keys for a while and let Diakono, you know, that experience teach him.
Yeah, KJ made up a good point early. Maybe I don't know how many streets ago when he said Jeff Teague. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's an experienced ball player who can handle the playoff pressure. You know what I mean? Guys like that. You know, I don't know if he with a team. I know KJ been harping on my man for a minute, but that's a guy that you bring in here like that. You know what I mean? Somebody like a Jeff Teague who's serviceable, who just got enough intelligence, enough smarts not to let the game get away from him. But yeah, we got to do something, man. I think we will, but I'm just hoping that when the shit come back together, man, you know, we be ready to rock and roll, man. Let's ride this thing out. But I think it's gonna be fun the next 3 games. I think we get a couple of guys back. Say what we play Thursday, Indiana, CT. Is it Indiana?
Yep. Indy.
Yep. We go in the Garden. We go in the Garden and beat Indiana, and we beat Boston. Now we back 1 game under 500. Then we go to Boston. We just got to find a way to get some healthy players back, man. I think once we get players back, I think this thing will be different, man. I just really do. I think it'll be different once we get out.
I think by Thursday, everybody should be back. Sim should be back. Luka, Noel, everybody should be back by Thursday because they already been out 7, 8, 9 games already. They've been out. It seems like Sim's been out like a whole month now. Noel seems like he's been out for about a month too. So I mean, you know, it should be by the Thursday night game. I think we should have a full roster. I think by Tuesday, Wednesday, these guys should be off of this all these guys should be off of this protocol stuff, so they have a chance to be back, rejoin with the team and probably practice, so they could be ready for Thursday because it's already been. I mean, I swear to goodness, it seems like last time we see Sam's was before Christmas, right? I don't think it was way before Christmas before he got maybe it was around Christmas, but around Christmas. All right, so that's what 5-6 days now, 7 days, yeah. So by Wednesday of next week, everybody should be back in the roster, and by Thursday we should have a full team coming into New York.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, let me now ask you gentlemen in the chat and the panel. Lay it out there. Give us your safe bet moving forward now for the bold prediction as well. Could be for this season. Could be for the next 3 games. Just for the next game. What have you got? Anyone? Sure.
So 8 out of our next 10 games are home games. So I'm going 8-2, 8-0 at home. Ooh. 8-0 at home. We lose 2. And Deuce McBride, my bold prediction is Deuce McBride will be the point guard going forward for the New York Knicks for the remainder of the year, starting point guard.
Okay. Is that predicated on Kemba and Kemba being out?
Even if he's out, he's going to be a starting point guard.
Yep. Nice. Wow. Divine. 8-2. I love that.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay it out there and say, by next week we get all our guys back. You know, we get back to some cohesion, a little bit of chemistry, some continuity that we know we got guys on the court familiar with each other, and I think this home stretch will be real important. I'm gonna go 7-3, but I'm gonna make this bold prediction, and I don't know if it's bold to some of y'all, but to me, the Knicks will be in the playoffs.
Nice.
The Knicks will be in the playoffs. That's my bold prediction.
That's not bold. I think that's gonna happen.
Yep.
I think the Knicks will be bad. We plan to be 3 games under 500. Most of our season has been, and we haven't had a season this whole season where our complete roster was together. None the whole season. We haven't had a complete roster together. I think when Noel get back, Julius get back, and Derrick Rose get back by February, this team get together, go on a run, and we see y'all in June or whatever, May or June. So that's my bold prediction.
Yeah, nice. And with Anthony's point too, at least we develop, because I could see Deuce starting for the rest of the year. I have no problem with that. Just give him the keys and say, hey, you can at least defend. You can get in, go shut dudes down, and he's going to be better and better every game. I think the more experience and Sharp Powers. Did you have any safe bet?
Safe bet. We'll be healthy by Thursday night's game with at least 13 or 14 of our players. Bold prediction. We make a major trade before the deadline, maybe of 2 to 3 players, 2 players. Bold prediction, and will take us all the way into the playoffs.
Yep, nice. For me, safe bet is that Luka Samanic will get called up. I think Luka Samanic, Kemba Walker won't play. Deuce McBride, will continue to start. Yep, and bold prediction, I think we'll make the 8th seed. 8th seed, which is still, it's a play-in, but if you win your first game, you automatically qualify in the 7th spot.
Right.
You don't have to play the second play-in game. You just have to win the first one.
Good point, CT. Good point.
And
that's where No, I was gonna say that's the where I was saying like last night around the 8th, 7th, 8th, somewhere around there. This way where you had that one game play in and we could probably go from there. The only bad thing about that is we'll be the 8th team going up against the number 1 team.
Chicago Bulls, I'll take that.
I said it last night too, man. We go out there, we get into the 8th seed. And we play Chicago, and we beat them in the 7-game series. I can see that happening. I can even see us getting to the. What would really make it something interesting when we get into the 7th seed and we see Brooklyn. That'll make it a little bit more interesting there too. So,
well, the Bulls. I think I wouldn't be mad at matching up against the Bulls.
It'd
be good experience. But I want to ask all you two another question. Where does Ben Simmons end up on? He has to end up on somewhere, right? Or does he sit out the whole season?
It's either one or two things for me. I think I really think some way, somehow that Ben Simmons is going to make it to Portland. I don't know why. I keep seeing a lot of things out there about him making it to Portland, and they letting go McCullough and a couple of trade picks and somebody else that was in that package. I think he's going out west. I don't think he's going to stay in the East no more.
Yeah. He coming to the Knicks.
I will, but man, I'm not gonna be mad if he does.
Ben Simmons coming to the Knicks.
Right.
Real talk.
Man, for what?
we have figured out, but he might be here.
Okay.
Like I said, it might be it could be a 3-team trade. We can. It all depends. It might not be a 1 or 2 team trade. It might be a 3. I'm just throwing that out there to shake it up. But if you can move a couple, get another team involved, I do think it can happen.
Charlie Ward cousin. We need you to tap in and give us what they're thinking. Is it Miles Turner and Simmons?
Right.
Yeah. Around, man. We'd have all NBA defense.
That would be awesome. Them 2 players.
And I would like Ben Simmons in New York too. But the issue is he's not vaccinated.
He'll get vaccinated.
Yeah, I heard he was vaccinated now.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. He ready then.
I say that, dude. Think about it. I think if you can get the right player to Philly and send some of the Knicks players to another team who might want them these easy contracts. But that team that we dealing with, the third team, might be get a guy to play that'll help Philly get to another level. I think that's a realm of possibility. It might. I think we would have to do it with a 3-team trade. I don't think you talking about Fournier, Alex Burks, and all the guys. I think Philly can use them. I think they'll make them better. You know what I mean? But I don't know that we got the players they want. But if another team might be willing to take on them contracts and that player they got can go to Philly, then I think it all can kind of all work out. So that's why I'm just gonna throw it out there. Hopefully. And I'm not really aiming for Ben Simmons. Man, boy, that boy, man, that'll solve a lot of our point guard issues in New York right now. Ben Simmons, you ain't scoring on Ben Simmons and Deuce McBride. You know what I'm saying? Scoring on them dudes, So
your prediction is he ends up in New York. That's the team you pick.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh says Portland. KJ says New York as well.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I heard they're interested.
Very interested.
From what I'm hearing, it's up to Philly. Obviously, what deal can they put on the table? I mean, how do you get him without putting Julius's name in the thing? Unless it's a 3-way, like you said. We please some other team with assets, draft picks, role players, and then they please Philly maybe.
I seen one on which was I think one of them. I know it was Daily Knicks. Somebody they had Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin. It was a couple other players in about 4 picks. Some of them protected, some unprotected. It was on either fan side or one of them I was watching today, and they broke that down. I was like, man, you know what? Yep. I was worried about all the picks, but a couple of them was swaps. Some of them was probably like in favor of the Knicks, not so much it was in favor of the other team. But that would have been interesting, boy, to see that thing. I wish I could bring that up. It would have been a good. Yeah,
I seen one with the Knicks giving up 3 first-round picks, IQ to something was 3 first-round picks, IQ. There was another player, 2 first rounds or 3 first rounds with 2 second-round picks to go to New Orleans, and New Orleans to send what's their small forward over there, Ingram, Ingram to Philadelphia, and then we'll pick up Ben Simmons. I seen that a little early in the week. So I mean, if it's about picks and maybe 1 or 2 players to get Ben Simmons in a 3-team trade, I mean, I'm with it. I mean, aside from what went on with Simmons with Philly, the way they talked about him at the end of the game and stuff like that, and they really threw him under the bus. I mean, see what happens if we could get him in here. He still has a big contract, but it was something about 3 trades, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, IQ, and there was another player in that trade to go to OKC, and then not OKC to Pelicans, and the Pelicans would send over Ingram to Philly, and then we would get Ben Simmons here. So that's something that I seen. I don't know how true it sounds, but something out there.
Yeah, they'll get something done, I think, and Bears watching to see plenty more to shows to debate it and talk about it. But KJ Dub, appreciate you coming through tonight. Yeah, you've got to get some business sorted, and give us your words before
you guys are going in and out on my end.
Yeah. Froze up. I think froze up a little bit.
I think KJ froze up. Yeah.
I'm back now. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys can't hear me, you can't.
We hear you. No, we don't.
Now you're locked up again. But he'll be back. Jericho Sims to back up Turner. Yeah, that's a good one. We get Covington. Yeah, I think we'll make some small patchwork moves that'll help us. I think that they'll target the certain dudes that they need to get. And we've got draft assets we can give up. We got we got picks to give up. We got like Luka to fill in some role. Archie Diacono, I think will finish the season on the roster, like Shem said.
Hey, CT, what do y'all think about that situation down in Houston with Kevin Porter Jr. and Chris?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That's bananas, bro. Because that's a move that's doable. I think because I don't have a problem bringing them that headache into him is because of our infrastructure, who we got there. I think you got Todd Gibson there, Derrick Rose. You got veteran guys who might mold to keep these guys in control, because I don't think they got that down there where they at now. John Wall, he don't give crap. He probably trying to get up out there anyway. Eric Gordon probably on this last leg out there anyway, but them to come to New York, maybe having guys like we got the infrastructure that we have and the culture that we have, you might can change them boys around a little bit.
What about Tibbs though? Do you think Tibbs would be too tough for him?
No, he might be the guy he needs.
Might be.
He might be the guy he needs. Sometimes
he was mouthing off at the assistant coach. So
yeah. I don't think he respects Silas either.
That's exactly what I'm about to say. Silas is not one of them gritty coaches. He's a laid back like his dad. He's real laid back, smooth demeanor. Sometimes you need somebody like you need a coach who ain't gonna let you punk him. Take the
another word. Christian Woods is popping up. CWC says that's another dude that's disgruntled there. Divine,
man, listen. You bring Christian Woods in here, and you move that Noel contract with Knox and a couple of picks. You got not a couple of seconds or one first, down the line first, whatever. That's doable. And Christian Woods only got about a year or two left on his deal, so I love that. I love that move, man. I think that'd be nice. You talking about a stretch 5-4, oh man, that could work out real well.
Is he balling out? I haven't watched much.
Yeah, he's double waiting to happen. He got skills. He came a long way, man. He had a long journey coming out of Vegas. He went around in the G League, but he finally popped, and he got skills, man. He could definitely play in New York. I know that much.
Yeah, I need Turner in here too. Another dude that can stretch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tricky. What do you guys think about our centers, right? With Nerlens out, Mitch up and down as well. Do you think they're invested in Mitch heavily, or do you think they're going to go for the permanent replacement?
I think the way he's been playing lately, now that he's getting healthy, we starting to see the Mitch that we've been wanting to see. You look at the Mitch last 4 or 5 games, Mitch been dominant. I mean, he's been playing. I think they, if they're not gonna keep him, they need to go ahead and will and deal him now while his stock is good. But I at the same time, I don't see why the Knicks would deal with somebody who makes $1.8 million if he's not or not. You don't even give him extra. Yeah, he giving you what he's giving you. And listen, that's the reason why we got our match today. The last 2 games, because Mitchell Robinson wasn't down. Him and Julius Randle.
Rim protection.
Yeah, rim protection. I think for what his value and how much he costs, it's hard to do that, man. It's hard to get rid of somebody who can give you a double-double with 3 blocks a game and can change the game defensively just because he can't shoot a 3-point shot. I just think that's foolish to me. So I think the Knicks hold on to him, and unless you got to put him in there to get a player. But it's easy to me to move. I'll put like this here. Who would you rather keep? Mitchell Robinson or Nerlens Noel? If you had to pick one of them, who would you keep?
Mitch.
Of course, Mitch.
That's what the Knicks is looking at. That's probably the same way we probably look at it. That's probably the way the Knicks is looking at it. And
I did want us to sign a backup that can score. I wanted us to get Boogie Cousins. That was a risk-free move.
Yeah, he's doing good, and he down there with Giannis.
Yeah.
That's why I said the Noel thing is interesting to me, because I think that might be the reason why they signed him. They probably couldn't really find nobody else in the off season.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of guys out there. If they said, well, let's just sign these guys back for now, and at the trading deadline, we'll wheel and deal. So let's bring them back we think they're good enough to hold us down at the beginning of the season. And then when the trading deadline comes, if it's a move out there to be made to make us better, we can move him because we know people want him. And so I think they take that $10 million and try to move it to get somebody who can, like you said, stretch the floor. But at the same time, we also got a young man. I know he's young, but you still got Luka Samanic down there. We got some options. But I think I'll move. I think Mitch Noel is a 6, 7, 8 year veteran, whatever. But Mitch is younger than him, more dominant rebounder than him. more athletic than him, you know, and I think he's just starting to come into his own, you know, because like I said, what good is Noel against Joel Embiid?
Oh man,
You
that
know
was
what I
the
mean?
worst. That could be one of the worst signings. I mean,
Mhm.
he's not even staying healthy. At least Evan Fournier, he might be stinking up the joint, but you know, you've given us 20 points. What would you rather, 20 points or someone who's not available?
Facts.
Right.
That stability.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah. You know,
Yep.
that Nerlens deal, man, we need to get out of him. I know he can help the team when he's healthy, but
Yeah. I think they will though. I think they deal him. I think they. You know what? If he wouldn't have been injured, maybe they wouldn't. I think that might have been cool what they got with the 3-point shooting they brought in here. But now that he's been injured the whole season and the trade deadline is coming up, he not only he been injured, he's been out of COVID. So it's like this dude ain't even played about how many games he played this year for the Knicks? About 7, 8
Yeah,
games. I think he played
yeah,
about 7, 8
yeah.
games,
If that.
if that. So they probably be like, listen, man, we got to get you up out of here, bro. So you know, and I'm hoping that's what they do because I do think that you know, much as we want Mitch to do certain things, but we know he good at the things that he good at. He good at what he do. You know, he might not have a lot of skills, but what he do, he do pretty good. And like I said, we needed him today.
Mm,
yep,
Today, you know what I mean? If Mitch was in there today, that could have been a different game for the Knicks from a
yeah.
defense point. You know what I mean? Because all that length they had down there, he would have controlled that mess. That's what I love about him. He just know how to control that paint. And he was just coming to his own, man. He was just starting to get it, man. The weight was going down, the stamina was coming up. Boy, 5 blocks in one game, 17 or 14, 14 and 11. He was starting to get it. I'm like, oh man, then he get COVID. I was like, what the? This is crazy.
one thing we do know now, and it was confirmed by Berman, you know, with us Divine about who they go for. They're very, very careful with character dudes.
Mhm.
Because you know, D was just asking me, you know, we missed out on getting Lance Stevenson, right? So there's a lot of talented guys that the Knicks never pick up. But just to let you guys all know their thought process, they look at character a lot heavily
Heavily.
when they're making a decision on who to bring in. Boogie Cousins, KPJ, Stevenson, and that. Not saying I'm not trying to put any slander on their names. I'm just trying to say the organization they're very careful who comes into that locker room, and this was confirmed to us.
Yep. When Scott Perry came in, he did that. No more than J.R. Smith headaches and all these type of guys who's cost because you know why they know you
We're out
know
of the back page.
yes and then instead of talking about the team doing good, we be talking about all the shit going on in the tabloids and you do gotta have culture, man. You don't want guys in here acting a fool. I don't care how listen. That means you willing to sell your brand out for somebody who gonna make your brand look stupid. I don't think they're gonna do that, and I appreciate Scott Perry enough for doing that because you know how I go, man. We in New York City. Any other team could get away with that. Can you imagine if Kevin Porter Jr. did what he did last night in New York?
Ooh.
Oh, it
Ooh.
was like the Fizdale thing with Alonzo Trier.
Yep.
You know,
That might even made it on the New York Times. That's
right.
That might have made it on the Times.
Even worse. Could you imagine if we had signed Kyrie in that free agency and all this drama would have been happening to us? We'd have been the LOL Knicks. You know?
Man,
long, bro. That's why it's tough being a Knicks fan because we do like gritty players. It's all right to be gritty, but don't be a headache. You know what I mean? It's one thing to be gritty and tough and hard, but don't be a headache to the team, to the friend, because you are working for somebody. You know, they pay you a paycheck to conduct yourself in the most highest form because they're paying you millions of dollars into their brand. You know what I mean? And you don't want your brand to be being sucked by nobody. You just don't want that. You know what I mean? And I get it. So, but I don't think Christian Woods is a headache like that, though. I just think that he's more upset about, he was one of the guys that would have been that main dude there. And now you got this young guy from Turkey. He's kind of probably getting that burn now, and so you gotta get him and John Wall out of there.
Sengun or something, isn't it?
Shango, something. Yeah, I think that's the problem with that. Yeah, with John Wall, he might not be disgruntled, but he ain't comfortable sitting there not playing.
Yeah, he ain't happy about that.
And you think Christian Woods like, listen, man. Yeah, I came here because y'all told me I was gonna be that dude here. You know what I mean? And now that y'all going a different way when you got rid of James Harden and all these guys, then you brought in all these other guys. Now my time, I'm not being featured. Because remember, he got to pay for another contract. You know what I mean? These guys got to play for their life. That's why I like even Mitchell Robinson. That's why only thing I had disagreed about a little bit about the foreign thing with him being hurt, don't play now. Nah, everybody play hurt. Man, you don't play when you injured, like you literally injured. But everybody in the NBA got nicks and bruises and sores and pain. That's why I said if Fournier was hurting that bad, if he was injured, then he would go. But if you hurt, so your arm got a little bit of muscle soreness, take a Tylenol.
It's that old adage, Divine. If you're struggling, if you shoot 5 of 5, you're not going to say, "Oh, I'm nicked up."
Right,
but if you have a 3 of 10 shooting night, you're going to say, "Oh, look, I'm a bit nicked up."
That's why I'm glad he played tonight, because it showed me something about him. That's why I love Mitchell Robinson so much. Don't nobody play harder than to me. Mitchell Robinson is the ultimate warrior. This cat hits the floor, get hurt, and he come up limping. He do not want to come out the game. That's why I don't make no excuse for guys in the NBA. Because you think about what Magic and all these guys, and Jordan, how the Detroit Pistons were beating that man up. I ain't coming out the game, dude. I'm trying to get my points. You know what I mean? So
he's trying to get paid, though. He's trying to get
paid. Right, trying to get paid. Yeah. So in that sense, I get it, man. But I think we're gonna be good, man. I'm excited. I haven't lost no optimism about our team. I just get frustrated by some of the game because the way we may lose them, or somebody don't go hard that night when they should have went hard. I'm not, but I understand the game, man. I understand the NBA right now. The New York Knicks is going through it, man. Them cats is going through the CT. I just man, like you said, all the young guys that we wanted to see play, they all got an opportunity. They said 10 days. 10 days. Yeah, it was tough, man. It's tough being a New York Knicks fan, but we're going to stick to it.
Facts, right. Well, we should let Theo Pinson go too. He was good. He was good for the locker room, right? And it's not like we lost him to a regular roster. He's still in the G League area. So, Wayne, they must really like Wayne Selden.
Theo Pinson got signed by Witchcom for I think the rest of the season. I think one of them teams picked up Theo Pinson after his last 10-day contract. They renewed it, and I think he's gonna be there the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you bring up the Teague thing. He's close to Tibbs as well.
Played for
maybe Jeff Teague. Maybe they just evaluate Diacono and see where it goes. But yeah, man, we got Indiana. Give us your thoughts on that before we close up. We got Indiana and then back-to-back Boston, guys. What do you think? We can go 2-3?
I think so. I think we can go 3-0 if we get some players back. I think some home cooking, getting in your own bed, having your own home cooking, getting back in your own zone, your own space makes a big difference, And I think like Sharp Howard said, we might get Noel. We get Noel back and maybe another body or two. I think we can ride the shit, man. Like I said, and turn this thing around. And we just might need to get back home. You know what I mean? Like I say, like Dorothy said, we'll play like home. Let's get back to MSG. And I think we can, CT. At least I think we can go 2-1. I think we can go at least 2-1. But I wouldn't. It all depends who come back. If all the people come back, I'll go 3-0. We get, let's say Randall come out, he only had to do a 5-day instead of a 10-day. If Randall only had to do a 5-day, I like our 10. He won't be that rusty supposed to be in our 10 days. When you 10 days, that's hard to come back in good shape. But I'm talking about for rhythm wise, not cardio wise, but rhythm wise. But yeah, I think we can go 3-0 if Randall get back and Noel and some more bodies. I go 2-1 if they don't.
Yeah, 2-1 at worst. We have to, man. Indy, they're at home. Knicks are at home, and then one of the Boston games is at home. But here's this, fellas, too. Indy coming into town. Kevin Pritchard, the GM, they could be meeting backstage, having a nice chat. Maybe Miles Turner stays in New York while the others fly off.
They do like they did the thing.
Yeah, they don't get a chance to really meet. And then when the dude's in town with this COVID mess going on, these two teams probably have to meet up, have a nice chat. What pieces do you want? What pieces have we got?
I think that's a good deal for both teams. I'll tell you why, especially with the Turner, if you throw Noel in there, because they just got that boy for one more year. They rebuild it anyway. You keep Miles Turner. You keep Nerlens Noel there to be a savvy veteran backing up, or with Sabonis for 1 year. Then the contract is done. You know what I mean? And maybe you throw him in there. Noel. Maybe Knox aspiring. They'll take Knox, a young player trying to rebuild anyway, or somebody, and to equal that $18 million and throw them a pick. I think they could. I think that what they want to do, CT. I think they want to start featuring the Duarte.
Yeah, I do too.
I think they want to kind of take Duarte and a couple of other guys and start building that team around them, but they know that boy's gonna be special with the way he shoots. So, but yeah, I hope they do that, man. Hey, like they did Porzingis the night Porzingis was there. They traded him the same night Dallas was there. So
that'd be beautiful, man. I mean, with the Turner deal, man, there's so many things out there about the deal and stuff like that. I think they're gonna, in order to get Turner, they may have to give up one of the young core, and they may have to give up maybe a first round and a second round. But if you want to get him here, and he's a young player, to get him here to play with his boy Randall, I mean, that might be the thing to do. There was, hypothetically speaking, they were talking about maybe IQ, like you said, Noel, IQ, and Knox, a first round and a second round. Those are some of the things that I've seen out there. I mean, with those three, I think the money matches up, and you give them some incentive to give them a first round unprotected. I think they were saying, and 2 second rounds or something like that, or 2 first rounds and a second round. I mean, it might be a little bit much with the first round people, but what are we going to do with those picks? What are we going to do with those picks?
Yeah, real quick. Let me ask you a question. Would y'all do Nerlens Noel, Knox, Kemba Walker? Let me see who else is serviceable with that money wise, and 2 picks and a second for him and Karis LeVert?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if Indy would do it, because unless their asking price for Turner's gone down, but from what we were told 2 years ago, they asked for a king's ransom for Turner. Now I hope that price has gone down a bit, because they want to rebuild. They're stuck with Turner, they're stuck with Brogdon, LeVert. I just think we can.
Left, right?
I just think we can tempt them with picks. We don't need these 3 picks coming up: Charlotte, Dallas, and
none of them.
Our own pick.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up, because I do think money wise we can get rid of a couple of contracts. Let me see. It's tough with the Burks situation, because Burks kind of plays for us, man. We need him in the playoffs.
I don't want to let go of Burks.
I wouldn't,
at least not this year.
Yeah, but for us, okay. Let's say they say no to that. Okay, that's understandable. That makes sense. Yeah, but I'll let you have to sweeten the deal, because I think they're going to move LeVert. They're not going to re-sign LeVert. So either one or the other. You know what I mean? But I do think you can get Turner for Noel and a couple of guys and some picks. I'm just wondering what you would want for LeVert. Since
you could do them a favor, Divine, and say we'll take TJ Warren. He's on your books. He's injured. Maybe we could do them a favor and take that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they would jump on that.
Yeah, and CWC says Jaylen Brown. That's another name to keep an eye out for.
That's what I want, bro.
Thanks.
I would love to get him here. Yes, sir.
Something's brewing in Boston too. Chat Divine, Shah. Boston's underachieving as well, and chemistry's not right. So that I believe that keep an eye out for that. There's going to be a lot of movements, man. That could be who Philly want. If you're saying we're going to get rid of Ben Simmons, I think that Jaylen Brown is a cat that they would pull the trigger.
Yeah, facts.
That would shake up the East. But I like what you said, man. Indy's it just makes sense as a trade partner, right? They're trying to go places. They're trying to go in a direction and offload some vets. It's funny, they're coming into town tomorrow. Conversations have got to be had.
Yeah. That's why I can't wait till this health and safety thing is over. Because it seems like it could be, and I think like we said, I think it's TT when Manny was speaking to Burnham, we talked about that, like because of the COVID thing, nobody's really can't make no moves right now. The way they want to. The way they want to. I mean, I think the Laker thing was easy. That was kind of easy to do with Cleveland. You know what I mean? So that was a 1-for-1, no big deal. But when you start to get multiple people involved, and that's different when you ain't got that many guys playing right now. So, but man, the Turner thing. Do you if you get Turner, would you just get move Mitch to the backup too, the backup 5 and start Turner, how would you do that situation? Because you just let Mitch go back to the second unit.
Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, let Turner see what he can do and see what Mitch can do for the rest of the season as well. But yeah, you bring up a good point. He's friends with Julius. They're tight from Dallas. They training partners, and that's going to be real interesting right now.
Mm-hmm. I think that Turner would start and Mitch would probably come off the bench, and wouldn't be much of a letdown for Mitch coming off the bench to start to really bolster the second unit. Now you got Mitch back there with OB, and you got Burks, and that wouldn't be a shabby second unit right there. So especially that would somehow we would get rid of Noel. So I mean, it would definitely work. But I think Pacers really are looking for a young player or 2 young players. So and in order to get Turner, I think we might have to give up someone like a IQ, man.
I
think give him Knox. They want young players. Give him Knox.
Knox would be in there too. I think it would be Knox, IQ, and probably Noel. I think that's the 3.
Dominant too. I thought it would be dominant, even if you did it for a period of time in the game. Mitch at the 5, Turner at the 4, and put Randall at the 3.
Oh.
Just like Cleveland. Cleveland got Jared Allen, Mobley, and Laurie Martin. You throw Mitch at the 5, and throw Miles Turner, who can stretch the floor and shoot the 3 ball, at the 4, and move Randall to the 3.
Man, that's a huge lineup.
But who's the shooting guard and the point guard?
RJ at the 2, and I guess you would have to go with Deuce right now.
I would go with that. I just wanted to see if you had the same thoughts. That's all.
And keep a lookout for the next real buzz. Leon's next big move, part 3. Divine and I we're gonna chop that thing down. We're gonna dissect it like a chef, and talk about these moves and who can come, who can go, because it's dealing season right now.
Hey, you know what? Like somebody like CWC said, or Sim, you got Jericho there. You know what I mean? They might want Jericho. You know, they go in. You know what I mean? You still got Sims there. You know what I mean? So that was a good one, CWC. Warren. Good one. You still forgot about that young man.
Rokas, that's a nice throw in, man.
That was another thing out there with Rokas and IQ too, in that trade. So I seen that too. I don't think Sims would be an ideal place for him to go, but I don't think the money matches up. It wouldn't be just like a Sims, and you would have to give up about 3 more players plus some picks and all that stuff. So I don't know if he would be ready. I don't think he'd be ready to be put into that trade for. Well, it would be nice, but I don't think he'd be ready for that trade.
I think you can do Noel, Knox, and quickly.
That's it.
Yeah, and then throw him a pick or 2. Or pick. I don't know if I'm giving up 2 first rounders for Miles Turner. Being guaranteed to sign him after this. He could walk. What if they want to expand the deal, right? What would you do Barrett if you got Karis LeVert and Turner?
Oh, you hurt my stomach when you said that.
I'm not thinking of what I want to do. I'm just thinking of Kevin Pritchard. If I'm Indy, I'm going to mention RJ Barrett's name and
they will
find out where we sit with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the catch of that, CT. If you feel like you're going to have to give RJ Barrett $100-something million, you might give Karis LeVert 2 years at $50 million. You know what I mean? Because Karis LeVert's contract obviously will be up. You'll be up, and you're going to have to stint RJ. If you're not willing to give RJ $100, what's going to be still like $100 million or something like that? Because he was signed. He's going to be in that rookie about 130, 150 or something like that.
Yeah, they ain't going to offer him that much.
So because they got to pay him according to the rookie scale. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you say, well, you know what? I get Karis LeVert, and we sign him for maybe a couple of years, instead of giving RJ an extension, of that magnitude. Yeah, man, I would have to entertain it. I would have to entertain it. Much as I love RJ Barrett, I would have to entertain that. Just due to the fact of, do you think giving RJ a max contract gonna help us win a championship with him and Julius Randle? Do you think Julius Randle and RJ Barrett both are max deals, even if you put a player or two around them, get us to a championship? That's what you're gonna have to look at.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're gonna have to decide what value they have on RJ, because I think Indiana would do that. That's something they could sell their fans on.
Oh yes.
And I think it's a 2-for-1. LeVert and Turner together help us win more. They help us win more now.
Yes.
Right. That's what we're trying to do, and we don't want to pay RJ the bag. Better to do it with one more year on his deal. If we wait till next season and we decide we're out on RJ and we want to trade him, there's not much value on that. There's not much value anymore. The team that's picking him up is going to have to pay him. Right? You trade him now, and you get the team getting him gets a year on that deal still to look at him, and you might be able to get two all-star type quality players in those two.
Or
Brogdon.
Let me ask you a question now that you brought that up. Let's say RJ keep playing the way he's playing, but then in that last year, now his stock is good. We trade him. I guess that's another scenario. I like the scenario where you at, because I do think that if you're not gonna extend RJ, you better get what you can get for him while he's still on that rookie deal.
That's true.
Get what you can while he's on that rookie deal. You know what I mean? But then only the downside of that, Knicks never keep the guys who they sign for, coming out of their draft. They never keep their draft. It's like a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, we did. It was that Damian Dotson. He broke the curse.
Right. So it's like, man, damn if you do, damn we can't win. So you're like, okay, but
no, it's just business. You can't be attached to no player's name.
No,
no, go ahead, CT. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, you good.
No, I mean, you look at now that we're talking about contracts and stuff like that, if you look to put RJ in that deal with IQ, a Knox, and instead of taking quickly, you put in RJ, Knox, Noel. I mean, that money matches up, and that money, and you want to throw in IQ and Jokic, and get LeVert, with maybe a first or 2 second rounds. I mean,
and if you can't get him, go another good deal. You might get go for Turner and Brogdon.
Oh man, Brogdon, I would
point guard. We starting for a point guard, so you might can go Turner and Brogdon for that same deal with RJ and them, but throw Brogdon in there.
I don't think they letting go of Brogdon though.
Even Sabonis on the table, from what I heard. The whole indie roster's available for whoever for the right price.
Yeah, they're going rebuild mode. They trying to, you know what? And I think that got a lot to do with it, because they know they probably going to stop. They're going to have to pay LeVert. They're going to have to pay Turner coming up. That's why Indy's doing it. They're like, listen, I can't pay all these dudes. We just gave Sabonis his money. We just paid Brogdon. Now we're going to have to, if we tie up Turner and Karis LeVert, then in a couple of years from now, how are we going to be able to pay, what's his name, Duarte? When his back comes up, So I guess they try to look at the long haul, the long picture, which I think they probably aiming at CT, because you do, like you said, you still got TJ Warren's contract out there. You just gave McConnell some money.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, they looking to, they probably feel like, you know what, this is what they thinking. The team they got is not getting us to the finals. That's what they looking. They not beating the Brooklyn Nets. They not beating Giannis and them. That's why I'm hoping that's what the Knicks think. Like you guys said, don't get rid of all the young guys, because do you think we're gonna beat Brooklyn? I don't think so. Not this year. I don't think we're gonna beat Milwaukee this year. So if not, then it's time for you to start playing checkers and playing chess right now. Because then when you say maybe next year, Harden don't re-sign with the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie go through whatever he going through. You know what I mean? And so we got to start. And I think that's how you got to plan this thing. I think you got to look forward to not only the year that you win, but the years going forward. And I think that's what the Indiana Pacers at. I think they don't think this team going to be able to beat none of these creme de la creme guys, because they don't have 3 superstars. And that's the problem with the Knicks. We don't have no superstars. The superstars win championships. We don't have any. I mean,
Facts, yeah. And Lynn also, yeah, you could save RJ for an even bigger deal, maybe a Carl Towns or whoever they got their sights set on right now. You know, there's got to be some people out there that tickle their fancy. You know what I mean? We just don't really know who they are. And one thing I keep going back to RJ is from the beat writers and everyone keeps saying, look out for that because he was not a Leon Rose dude, right? Leon Rose wants to just put his own stamp on this thing. He wants to put his own mark on this team, and he was not selected by Leon Rose, right? If RJ's mediocre, up and down one night, next game, Leon Rose aren't going to think he's untouchable. You know, he's gonna be like, man, what can this guy get for me? You know.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's what's so interesting about the whole thing is that it might be time for them to Leon let they know what that's really not what I was saying about earlier. You got to get this front office time to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? You know, because like I said, Rome wasn't built in one day, man. Come on. You can't ask Deion Rose to come in here and all of a sudden make the Knicks contenders. Take time to build these things up, man. I mean, look at the Brooklyn Nets. How long they got? KD been to him and Kyrie been in what 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
And because of the situation they was in with the injuries and everything, and they ain't won it yet. You know, they still trying to get there. You know what I mean? Look how long it took Giannis and Chris Middleton 8 years to finally get one. It takes time to build these things up, man. You know, and I think patience is a virtue, man. I think we got, but I do agree with you that if you get the right player for RJ, then it is what it is, brother. You know, like I said, you just gotta hope for the best with that. But it's gonna be interesting the next month. Shaw Powell to CT, it's gonna be interesting, man. You know, we just gotta see what they do, man. I just want to hope us team get back healthy and then we start making all these good moves.
Yeah, this is something to look forward to. I mean, we're going to be surprised soon in this next 44 days or so, 43 days, 44 days before this trade deadline. And, I like my man Soulfinger said, man, everybody's on the chopping block. You know what I mean? Somebody that we're not even thinking about might be, getting ready to be shipped off in a deal to get back somebody that we were always talking about. So, I wouldn't be against a Turner, Levert, Turner, oh my God, I forgot the guy's name, Brogdon. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to them things that you be saying sometimes, Divine, about Covington and the other boy from what you call it. So there's a whole lot of things that's about to be planned out and bashed out right now, man. I wouldn't be surprised if OB, IQ, RJ. I wouldn't be surprised if none of these guys go to get somebody in here because I still believe that the Knicks are in win now mode. So anything that they could do to try to get some guys in here to get the team a little better, hey, I'll bite my teeth and talk about it afterwards. But I'm a Knicks fan, so when they get here, I'll be rooting for them just as fast as they come in here. I'll be rooting for them.
And I think Randall is more in Leon Rose's eyes. Randall is more expendable than Obi. I think Leon Rose has got Obi. He's my guy. I think Obi Toppin is going to stick around long term.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be shocked if Leon moved him. Whereas I can see Randall if he can get us for the right price. If RJ can get us something for the right price. I think Leon wants to put his whole own stamp on this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely,
And,
absolutely. Yeah, I think Obi's. I think he's going to be in here. I think he. See, to me, I want his story is better than Kemba Walker's to me. Yeah, Kemba Walker might be from New York, but we drafted Obi. You know what I mean? That story, that's a feel good story. Let's say if Obi Pop, we drafted a kid from Brooklyn playing in New York City, and he wound up being the player we think he's going to be. That's a good story right there. You know what I mean? It was different if we would have drafted Kemba Walker coming out of the draft or whatever, and then he popped in New York. That would have been a phenomenal story right there. Or like Stephen Marbury, we would have drafted him coming out. You know what I mean? Instead of getting him later on in their careers. But to have Obi come out of here, Brooklyn-born kid, man, and pop in New York, that's a good story right there. And Leon Rose, he connected with the New York verse. But I do think that let me ask you a question on this here real quick, guys. Here's another good story, and I don't know if they would do it, but they're gonna have to sign him too because he came in and the Knox came in, Mo Bamba.
Yep.
You
It's
know,
real interesting.
Yeah. Even if you had to throw Terrence Ross and Mo Bamba for maybe Nerlens Noel, if you don't do the turn, then let's say it's turn to go somewhere else. Because don't we want it? I mean, that's why I think sometimes just because the front office might try to get him, somebody else might come out with a better offer. We just lose out on. I think that's what happened in free agency. Sometimes I think the Knicks are trying to make these deals, but maybe the other team that had better offer, they just struck first. But I think a guy like Terrence Ross and Mo Bamba for Nerlens Noel and maybe not because they trying to go young. But one thing I like and something like that, you take the Noel contract maybe a year later and trade it or send them to a contender or whatever the case may be and get a younger player somewhere. So I think it's a lot of scenarios out there. And Mo Bamba stretching the floor 2, shooting 3, 7-4. I mean, Mitchell Robinson would be a good project down there. Or you send them Jericho Sims.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's some good will and dealing to be done out there.
Yeah, Randall's an enigma. Like Lynn said, not sure what to do with him. I think Leon knew we had Randall right on the roster, and he still selected Obi Toppin. That tells you all you need to know. I know Randall had a bad year the year before, but he's reverted back to that, sort of average of his career right now, which is what he is. I didn't believe last year's Randall is what he is. I think he's more what he is this year, right? With the crowds and all that. And I think, Toppin's going to be long term. I think he can ship out any of these other dudes, RJ, Randall, quickly. We got lots of pieces and just create a whole new look team. But I don't know if they're going to do it this trade deadline, but they'll definitely see what they can get because I don't think they'll want Randall's stock to drop anymore. Otherwise, that could be an asset. Right now, it's an asset. But let's say he continues this play divine for one more year and there's 3 more years on his deal. Suddenly you can't really trade that for a quality player anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, send him to Dallas for Porzingis. Porzingis playing good ball. He got about a year left on that deal or 2, whatever. Better than Randall 4 years. He's saving about $70 million, $50 million or whatever.
What about E. Cool was on the money? What about Ayton? We forgot about him.
Yep. See, and that's what's interesting about that. Then we going back to the Mitchell Robinson situation. Now we got a guy who don't really got a jump shooting game. You know what I mean? And he about to get the bag. He about to get the max. Ayton about to get the max. Even though I think they're going to re him up. But why you think Phoenix Suns didn't give him this deal?
Yep.
Suns didn't give him this deal. Yeah, they like, wait and see. They like Mitch, wait and see. That's why I always say Mitchell Robinson, $1.8 million. He do the same thing Ayton can do. You're gonna get $8 and $30 million. You can't get Mitch $12 million, $13 million. They do the same thing almost. So it just is crazy, man. But yeah, man. And like I said, Mitchell Robinson and Porzingis ain't a bad. I wanted to see that. I thought when this first happened, CT, I thought before he got injured, I want to see Mitchell Robinson, Porzingis, and Knox, man. I really want to see that front line in New York, that youth. That was a young, energetic. I like, man, Porzingis with the stretch 4, 7-footer, Mitchell Robinson, 7 foot, Knox 6'8", 6'9". I thought that would, but Knox didn't pan out. But I thought that would have been a nice nucleus to build around. Could we drafted Porzingis? Imagine we was able to get RJ Barrett in there with him, Mitchell Robinson, Porzingis, RJ. These are all the guys we drafted too. All drafted dudes, man. I was like, and Knox, I was like, man, you got the right point guard up in here. By now, that team would have been dope because that Mitchell Robinson in his 4th year. Porzingis, he was in the BB, 5th to 6th year now, something like that. We drafted him all year. We drafted him in 2018.
Yeah, he was 2016.
16. Okay, 16. That's 6 years. So you would have had him in this 6-year move. You would have had Mitchell Robinson in his 4th year, RJ in his 3rd year going on. But we might not even got RJ. We would have had Porzingis and he would have stayed healthy. He probably wouldn't even seen that. We wouldn't have been that low down in the tank mode. We probably wouldn't have been there. But I think the Porzingis and Mitchell Robinson front line, I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's just if Porzingis can stay healthy, those legs are a moment away from getting an injury again. But he is balling out again. KP's resurrecting his career.
Yep. Sometimes it take that, man. Sometimes, like I always say, it has to like how you start is how you finish. Maybe his body is finally catching up to where it needed to be in the NBA, because he was a little toothpick when he came in the league. He was fragile as anything. But maybe after years, he's starting to get his body right. His body's starting to get acclimated to that. Don't get me wrong; he can come out tomorrow and he's back to being Porzingis and get injured again, and it's over. So, but yeah, I mean, just for the Julius Randle thing, I do think we gotta keep an eye on that. And I'm glad you brought that up, CT, with the Leon Rose thing. I mean, granted, Leon Rose probably signed to him because that was the right thing to do, because he is worth $20 million. That's why he got 117, something like that, 113, 117. So he definitely worth $21 million, but that's an easy contract to move for his talent.
Yeah, it is. That's why it's an asset right now. But fast forward 12 more months, if he's lucky this inconsistent again, that value is going to drop. I think. Just Leon's going to show me, I guess, what he's made of. Like, we all want players to show us what they're made of. This is a president we've been wanting. A solid president that can do all the right moves. And Phil Jackson wasn't it. And we bring in, Dolan brings in Leon Rose. He's supposed to have that agent now, Shah. Supposed to know the landscape of the league, the contracts, who's valuable, who's not. Let's see what he does.
I definitely think for Leon, he is going to come out and he is going to make this team a little bit formidable for this year. I don't think he's going to sit on his hands. I don't think this year he's going to not make any trades by the deadline. I think he's going to make some trades. I mean, at least I'm hoping so. So, any of these trades that we're talking about right now, I'm ready to see the Knicks make sure that they make it to the playoffs this year. That's my main focus. If the Knicks do not make a play-in playoffs, this is a bust for this season.
It sure is. For me, it is. Because not when I was expecting to win 50 games.
Exactly.
It's more than a bust. It's a bust right up out of
here. And that's why I said Leon can't stand for that. His reputation's still here, and like I said, he's got the next dudes in waiting, ready. And we don't know how patient James Dolan is too. Brooklyn. This might be the year Brooklyn trying to make moves still. They missed out last season because KD's toe was on the line. Kyrie's back now in part-time capacity. This New York franchise, we want to continue this momentum. That's why I think that Turner thing, whatever it takes to get Turner, they might be all in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like the moves, man. I like the moves, CT. They 2-year deals. I don't care. You can go for a big name, long they not no 5-year deals. I'm cool with that, long as it ain't over 2 years, and you're not jeopardizing the infrastructure going forward. We go for 2 years. Let's just say we bring. I don't care who you bring in here. If you bring in the biggest superstar, long they got 2 years left on that deal. That way, go for 2 years. If it don't work out, we're back to square one with all our money and all our picks. So I don't have a problem going for a big name, long as it's not a long deal. But I don't want to send nobody I don't want like we said, Dejounte Murray. I could see you signing him. Now let me ask you a question: would you trade him? Would you do him for RJ?
Oh man!
Would I?
They both in the same dilemma. They're pretty much both in the same dilemma.
Yep, I might have to based on this year's form. He's emerging as a star, and RJ's not yet emerging as a star. So
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Okay, Danny and Lindsay.
I would do that in a heartbeat, and I'm down with RJ. But for Murray, you talking about Murray from San Antonio?
Yeah, Dejounte Murray. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's my boy. Yeah, I've been looking at him for a couple of months now, man. For RJ, yeah, man. I mean, he come in here, man. He would really light it up, man. And he can shoot, he can rebound, and he can assist.
Got length though.
Yeah, he a triple threat every night he gets on the court.
Thanks.
And that's what we got to start. That's what we're gonna have to look at. It's moves like that might Leon Rose might be like, okay, you know what? And I know RJ got the character that Pop them will love. And whether Pop coach at this, I don't know, but you're not getting you. One thing about you could say about RJ Barrett, man, you getting a real professional basketball player.
Facts.
Mom and dad he a pedigree. Mom and dad played professional sports, played under one of the best coaches in the college game ever, in Krzyzewski down in Duke. I mean, he just an overall good dude. I love RJ, man. But when it comes to the side of the basketball part of it, I just want to wait and see to the season, to the trading deadline. But I like Dejounte Murray. If you can pull him off, and
if not, Brunson's a name to watch.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be available.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, Leon, there's connections there again. Rick Brunson, his father.
Played for the Knicks too, and played for the Knicks on top of that. That might be the one, CT. I think that might be the one that can happen more than anything to me.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that literally I think can happen for the Knicks more than any one of them things, just due to the fact they're gonna have to give that man some money.
Facts. Yep.
And they might not want to give Brunson that money.
Yeah, we give him a sweetener just so hey, you don't lose Brunson for nothing. Let him come over here. Some team's gonna have to pay him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My only question is they have to decide, is he a starting point guard for us, because we're going to have to pay him. Mm-hmm. So you don't make that move unless you think, okay, he could be a future starting point guard.
Yep. Unless you give him some stuff like Kemp and them or whatever, and we don't resign him, then it's no big deal. But I'm gonna tell you, boy, that now y'all got me thinking about Dejounte Murray and RJ and them.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that can turn this franchise to a whole different level. The Knicks need a point guard, point blank. Our Achilles heel is a point guard.
And that young boy right there is something incredible, man. He's a triple threat every night of the week, man. Every time he gets on the court, he's a triple threat. He grabs rebounds. I think he's like 8-9 rebounds a game. He gets about 7-8 assists a game, and he's scoring about 18 to 20 points a night. Man, I've been looking at him for a month and some change now, maybe a little longer than that. And I mean, I was even thinking of deals of sending Fournier out there. Fournier could run under the San Antonio coach Popovich, that Euro style basketball. I think Fournier can go out there and do that. I was trying to get some deals to get him, but he would be a big pickup. But we would have to give up a couple of people to get him.
It's gonna be interesting, man. Like I said, when we do the real buzz, Leon thing, we got a lot of stuff to break down, and we throw the video out there. But I'm liking what I'm hearing out here tonight, man. I just think I know he probably going long, but it's worth it. We having fun with it. This I'm cool with it. I ain't doing nothing. No way. It ain't 12 o'clock yet. So I know we don't even go 2 hours, but I love the conversation we having though. I think the chat loves it too. So salute to you for staying on a little longer than we thought we were going to stay on. It was a good conversation, man. A lot of interesting stuff out there.
Yeah, we're just talking about how we can try and improve this thing, because I'm not like trying to throw away all our good players and young players, but sometimes it's a business. Like you said, you got to think the New York Knicks are an LLC, right? They're an LLC. How can we make the product on the court better, right? I have some certain attachments to some players, in terms of I like their demeanor, their moxie, their character, their game. But it's all about, how can we continue to how can we put a winning team out there? We've been fans for like so long, most of us, and we just want to see some quality ball out here. Last year whet our appetite. That's the thing, Divine Shah chat. Last year we got a taste of that winning feeling last year, and I don't want to lose that taste. You know what I mean? That excitement of the Garden, that game one, that was Mark Berman's highlight of his whole career, he said, in 22 years of covering the team.
Well, this year, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, you know what's interesting to me with the Julius Randle dilemma? We either gonna have to bring a point guard in here who we respect. That's why you just can't bring in any point guard. If you don't bring a point guard in here who Julius Randle gonna respect as a leader, then I think that to matter who you bring in here, unless you move Julius Randle, like much as I love Dejounte Murray, is Julius Randle going to respect him as being a dog or being the leader of the team on the offense on the floor? That's what's crazy with the Julius Randle thing. Whoever we bring in here, Julius Randle had to respect this dude. Like you know what, Julius Randle, me and you, we on that level, but I'm on that level. That's the only reason I brought up the Westbrook thing the other day, just due to the fact he would respect him. He respect him. You know what I mean? Like you ain't coming here like you know, just I'm running the point guard in New York. You know, everything runs through me and you. But you got to bring somebody who he's gonna respect. If not, then I don't care who we bring here.
Yeah,
you know?
he's gonna while out. He's just gonna have 4 or 5 turnovers, do whatever he likes. Like because you can't have your offense run through a power forward. That's what I've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your power forward is LeBron or Giannis, 2 generational dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Show me a team that has their whole offense run through a power forward.
Yep. And the thing about that was interesting to me, Shop out, but they respect Drew Holiday though. See, Drew Holiday been in the league longer than Giannis, about the same. You know what I mean? Whatever. But he respect Drew Holiday because he know Drew Holiday is a dog. He could get it. He's a dog. He's been around long enough. He's a dog. He's the reason why they won that championship last year. We know Giannis will do what Giannis gonna do, but I think Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday is the reason why they won that championship last year. You know what I mean? And that's the type of player. And I had one Knicks to get him a while ago. I love Drew Holiday. His defense is phenomenal. He can play against the best. But I do think that's going to be an interesting dilemma, man. With Randle is, do you bring in a young guy and do Thibodeau still run the ball through Randle, or do you bring in a veteran and Randle can respect him more? Because if you bring in a young point guard, then to me you're not solving nothing.
I do think they want the veteran route, guys, because from what we heard, that Chris Paul, they were interested in, obviously, long-time Leon Rose client, their family. He wanted Chris Paul here. Chris Paul wanted to come, Alan Hahn confirmed that. But the COVID, not this season, but before he signed the deal, the COVID thing happened, and he just thought, man, I can't uproot my family to New York with all this empty arena and that. If I go to the Mecca, I want the Mecca experience, the crowds, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we would have got Chris Paul, we would be what Phoenix is with that kind of vet, that could keep Julius in check.
Mm-hmm. You know a name out there that's interesting that's out there, and I don't think that not maybe he might be the guy that he respect, but I think he respect his experience. Gordon Dragic. He at least he respects his intellect because he's been in the league a long time, and he know he can. Gordon Dragic is a name
that's a champion.
Yeah, champion, right? Been around and know the game of basketball, and been in but Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and all these guys. He's a name that Toronto going to probably move. They not playing him down there. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He might be a short-term fix for Kemba Walker for this year. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be interesting. Interesting to see how this thing go. But it's not too many, Lynn. I don't know. I'm glad you brought that point up because off my hand, I'm going to say Westbrook is one I know he would respect. I don't know too many guys out there I would have to take.
Yeah, let me ask you, now that we're seeing what we're seeing out of Cole Anthony, we had the chance to get him, Cole Anthony. He's from New York, got the moxie, he's got the confidence. Which player on this roster would you be willing to part with for Cole Anthony?
Any one of them. Any one of them. I like the Julius and Carl Anthony Town connection. I think they play well together at the 4-5 stretch of floor. They both can play inside, outside.
Sorry, Cole Anthony.
Oh, Cole Anthony. Oh, not Carl Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, Cole.
Because we had the chance to get Cole Anthony. A lot of people thought he solved our point guard issue. He's from New York.
Draft. Yeah, I wanted him in the draft. I really did. I really wanted him in the draft. Like, man, won't y'all move up to get Cole Anthony? Because everybody was down on him because of that last year. I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan. I seen him, but he was balling for Carolina before he got kind of injured. You know what I mean? But I do think you can definitely get him, but you will have to give up maybe another first. I think the only one I think I moved the needle is maybe quickly in a couple of firsts and Knox. Maybe a first Knox and a couple of things like that because Cole Anthony special.
Yeah, Because I must admit I was low on him. I didn't expect him to come out into this league and look the goods.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I got to eat some crow on that one. But I mean we got Obi out of it, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, absolutely,
But,
absolutely.
we're still in this conundrum where we don't have the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's my man. I you know what? In the draft, I was like, man, Knicks, y'all got a couple of firsts, man. Y'all move up and get that boy. He right there at 17 or whatever for the taking, 15 for the taking. You know, and I thought they would do that. I really did. That young man is nice, man. He come from one of the more premier. There ain't too many cats come out of high school in New York where he come from that don't ball. I mean, that's prominent ball players coming out of the high school where he from. You know what I mean? So, Bishop Malloy and all that, them about to come out there bringing it. You know what I mean? Too many cats come out of Bishop don't play no basketball. That's real talk. You know,
that's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, you know, it's a good. It depends on what we go on, CT and Shop. Depends on what we going. If we're gonna go for the playoffs, if we're gonna go for this next thing in 2 years, then you go ahead and do it. But if you think we're gonna try to reshape and bring in some youth, then I guess we got to figure out what we're gonna do with the contract. But I do think it starts right now. It starts with Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, you know, Nerlens Noel. Them the ones that I wish we could move and hold on to everybody else. I think Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, Nerlens Noel, at least them three. You can move them and keep everything else. And if you have to throw Quickly in there, much as I love Quickly, but I understand we got Grimes here too, so you really don't need him like that Quickly. But Quickly can sweeten the pot for Quickly can sweeten the deal for a lot of these people.
Facts.
He can sweeten the deal for a lot of these deals we make. So him in there, you probably sweet. They say, okay, you give me Quickly, I can do this. You know what I mean?
What if what if Quickly got you? Because I think but Portland's really high on Quickly, right? They would love to keep Dame happy because Dame's tight with Quickly. If Quickly got you Nurkic and Covington,
yeah, man, hell yeah, I do that. Here's the reason why: them boys' contracts is expiring anyway. They help us this year, and they expire. I wish they would take Fournier and Quickly. Fournier 19, Quickly's whatever, that equals Nurkic and my man. That they contract together $25 million, 12 and 13. So if you say I give you Fournier, Quickly, and I'll throw a first in there for you in a second, I would probably have to do that, man. I would definitely do that. If you could move Fournier contract and bring Covington and move Quickly to and Nurkic can play the if you had to throw Noel in there, Noel, Fournier, and Quickly to sweeten the deal, I think they'll do that too because that's what they lack. What they lacking over there is defense and in the front court anyway. You know what I mean? They don't got a defensive center down there, and I think Nerlens Noel will help them out more than a lot of anybody else on our team almost. But if you go Noel, Fournier, that's $29 million, right? And they make 25. I guess you could be 60% a certain amount of range from dollar-wise, but that's $29 million. And Quickly is about what, 3 or 4 million, something like that. He is.
Something like that.
So you talking about you bringing 25 in and you taking 30 out, but even if they had to throw somebody in like Little, the cat from North Carolina, or another player to equal that, because you remember they got Anthony Simmons, that 3-point the slam dunk contest who could knock the ball down from 3-2. So, and you know, you never know what's going on with CJ McCullough right now. Yeah, man, that's a good one. I had to entertain that. I definitely had to entertain that.
Yeah, I think Portland would love that because they get a young player in there that can help, like Dame. And what about Lynn's question? You know, what do you? I think you've said before. Yeah, Randall, is he untouchable in your eyes? If you were the GM, for me, I don't think he's going to get moved because I think they want to keep the culture around. You know, they signed him. But if I'm a GM, yeah, he's absolutely he's available in my eyes, you know.
Yep. Depends on I don't think nobody on that team is untouchable. To be honest with you, nobody's untouchable. It's the guy that I would love to keep there, but like it all depends. Like I said, if you ask me, do I do Randall for Cat straight up? Absolutely. Here's why. Now you get Obi Toppin to start playing ball at the 4 in New York. You know what I mean? You know, and now he get to shine a little bit. So you got Cat him and Cat do the same numbers basically. Let's say Randall and Cat, they're 24 and 11, whatever. So you taking care of that part there. You're not losing nothing, but you're just switching the position. Now you could let Obi try to get in here and get his sign more at the 4 spot in New York. So yeah, I would do Randall for Cat. I wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me whatsoever. Now you don't have to worry about Cat getting caught up in turnovers. People double team when see, I love Randall. I like his game. I'm not kidding. But I know you can't do it straight up, Bricks Nation. I'm just saying, using that as an example, you might have to throw pieces in. Obviously, you're gonna have to throw pieces in there. I get that. But I'm just talking about, I don't have a problem with them two switching teams. That's what I'm trying to say. Not straight up. We know that ain't gonna happen. But I don't have a problem switching them two teams. I don't have a problem bringing Cat in here and taking Randall out. I don't have a problem with that. Because I just think that it opens up more spots for us, and it changes the way we play basketball in New York too. You know what I mean? So I would do it. Well, if you got to throw in a couple players or some picks, yeah, whatever.
You just got to look at his game too. He's ball dominant, Divine. We may have a certain style that we might want to play up and down. We want to push the pace. Julius isn't proven he's the best defender either. See, last year probably the most impressive thing was that Julius Randle played defense. Now there's no excuse. Ability doesn't stop him this season, but he's just not playing defense.
Right.
So
it's a tough situation. But yeah, just to answer Lynn's question, I got no problem with that. Nobody on the Knicks to me is untouchable for the right thing.
Yep.
And I think that's just about anywhere. Certain teams, yeah, maybe like a Jason Tatum, no, maybe like a Durant, no, things like that. But on our team,
yeah, Sharp Powers. Yeah, give us your words. We'll close it up for tonight. Great show. Chopping it up. This dialogue's going to continue with this team, and we need. Yeah, we're going back to the next 3. We need to win 2 out of the next 3, or it's major shakeup.
No matter what it is out of these next 3 games, I want us to try to win 2 out of these games, but it's going to be a major shakeup no matter what. And I think we got Pacers and two games with Boston. It's going to be some. We should be back with our starting unit back. So let's see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Indiana and Boston these next 3 games, man. And there's going to be a shakeup as we speak right now. They probably on the phones, listen to what we say. You know what? Let's go try to get that thing right there. Let's try to make that move right there, because I know Leon Rose. I don't believe so. I mean, I'm hoping not. I don't think he's going to go all the way past the trade deadline and not make no moves this year. So it's going to be some shakeups from here to 44 days away from now to the 15th of February. But without these next 3 games, man, I want us to win at least 2 out of these 3 games, if not all 3 games. Salute to you, CT. Salute to you, Divine. Chad, it's always love. I'm out of here. I'm gonna get ready to go for the work. Love you guys. I see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, salute, my brothers. Appreciate you, child.
Peace.
Appreciate you. Happy New Year again.
You already know.
Yeah, Divine. Chat. Before we get out of here, I think like this front office makes moves that we don't know nothing about. We just wake up and there's a move. They're already probably got contingency plans in place and all of that kind of stuff. This Archie Diacono thing came out of nowhere. Maybe it'd already been working out for them. Testing. 2-3 days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, to the chat, man. To the whole chat. We appreciate all y'all feedback. Now, y'all, like I said, man, Knicks Real Talk. Treats about got some of the best chat in the world. You can't stay in here, stay involved, stay engaged. You keep us on our P's and Q's. But when we doing things here, guys, we just throwing out scenarios. We don't know if it's gonna happen or not. We're not gonna say it's gonna happen. We're not gonna say it is gonna happen. We just having fun with it, throwing out ideas. We ain't guaranteeing this gonna happen. We're not gonna say the Knicks gonna do this. We don't do that. We just say what can be if this would happen. You know what I mean? Obviously, we don't know what these guys. None of us in here know what these guys are gonna do. We don't know what the Knicks gonna do. We don't know what no team. We just throwing out possibilities.
Yeah,
So don't get too like we don't know what we talking about and stuff like that. We just having fun with it, guys. That's all we doing. We just talking about what can possible be. So keep the positivity into our chats, keep the positivity into the show, because that's what we do. We just try to do things good for the fan base and just talk about things and have good dialogue. We don't know if it's right. We don't say it's wrong. We're not saying that we did this right or wrong. We just throwing out scenarios that's possible. What if it could be? Let's put it like that. But to the chat, to everybody, Brick Nation, Danny, so to you, Sherwin, Khalid, everybody, man, let's get it popping, man. And thanks for you guys coming in, hanging out with us late tonight, man. Y'all know how we do. I don't want to leave nobody out. Linda Lynn, you already know. Julian, Hewitt Sandwich, man. Let's keep it going. And we'll see you guys on the next one, Knicks Real Talk. I will be doing a pregame, on Tuesday, Knicks in Indiana. I'll be on 6 o'clock. So y'all make sure y'all come down to Knicks Real Talk. We get a pop with me and CT. I'm gonna be up in there making it happen. And D Cool, everybody, man. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all was up here tonight. Shaw Legacy. Y'all keep it going, man. Shirley Willis, appreciate you. Warren Franklin, CWC. Man, we just get it popping, man. Knicks Real Talk. The streets are buzzing. We in here, man. Knicks had they took an L tonight, man, but we'll bounce back. Hopefully, we have some horses coming back in the next couple of games. Maybe we can right the ship, man, and get it back going, man. But it's a tough season for us, man. COVID-19, injuries, everything, man. The whole league is kind of crazy right now. But let's keep the faith and hope that we can keep it going, man. And until the next time, man. Peace to everybody, man. We see y'all.
Yep, straight facts. We here. We're the best fan base in the world. We're not going nowhere. We've got plenty of fire content coming all season long. Let's get it. Let's ride it out. And hopefully, we can, get this thing sorted for the future. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.